couple beautiful ladies for y'all. Let's go. And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Purple Pod, episode 68, the number one show in the world for dating. Start right here in Dallas, Texas. Please make sure to like the video on y'all's way in and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, please, so you can be prepared for all the future shows that are coming up. Please follow us on the podcast Instagram right now so then you can go add these two girls that came on. I really want to get their followers up since they came all the way out here for us. We are now live to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube all at the same time. Please go sign up right now for our mentorship by just doing a free consultation call, link down below. If you want to show some support, you can do that by either going to the Patreon or you can just click the join button right down there under the YouTube video. So then you can become a YouTube member. When you do that, you'll get some really cool emojis for the show. And super chat in any questions that y'all have for the remainder of the show for if y'all want to ask some questions. Also, check out the merch store, and we're now streaming on all the audio platforms, so you can listen at work. Just probably not listen out loud so you don't get fired. I know some of y'all were listening at your jobs. Y'all are savages. But yeah, please, everybody, add the Instagram right now. I really want y'all to go add these ladies to make their time worth it for coming out here for us today. Thank you, Donnie, for being the awesomest producer ever. I appreciate you for coming on this Monday night, man.
Yep.
And guys, if you're a person with a YouTube channel or anything and you want some media marketing help, I'm doing a really cheap package to do all of your media marketing, all your clips, and all your stuff posted for you across all the different platforms for a very, very cheap price, only $500 a month. So please hit me up if you're a YouTuber and you're looking for something like that. Shout out to all my other YouTubers that be watching my channel all the fucking time. But yeah. Let's get started with the questions. Ladies, we like to start off with learning your name, your age, your education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status. Thank you for coming back. So we're going to start with you again.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Hi. Yeah. So my name is Tara. I am 28 years old. My education level is an associate's in applied science. Still not applying that little guy. I am in the automotive industry. I'm actually a wholesale automotive broker, 9 to 5. And then I bartend on Sundays in the Bishop Arts District. And I am single.
Wow. So you're working a lot, actually.
6 days.
How many hours do you think you work a week?
I mean, I'm definitely probably pushing closer to the 50 range. I'm not going crazy, but definitely one day off,
Yeah.
So
that's still pretty crazy, though.
it's not the best, but we're making it work.
I mean, if you're making it work. What about you? What's your name, age, education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status? And you said that you were single?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, just making sure.
My name is Kristen. I go by Chrissy Lou. I'm being petty right now, so I'm single.
What does that mean? You're being petty? Like you're mad at somebody right now?
She belongs to the streets.
Wow. Okay. My highest education level, I have an associate's in recording technology. I wanted to produce and record my own music, but taking, a year or two off from that, I really don't know anything anymore, but to press record. Who's the other one? What I do for work, I basically just approve benefits for the government.
That's cool, kind of. You gonna approve me of some stuff?
I'm sure you cannot.
What kind of stuff is it? Is it like getting approved for like loans, or is it like food stamps? Like what?
So you have to be like on either food stamps, Section 8, or be in college, anything that you're enrolled for the government. Basically, I work for Lifeline and ACP. I don't really know what it is. I think they give like free internet and like free reimbursements on like technology and stuff like that, but you have to be like low income to get it. So
wow, I didn't know that you get those type of get free phones and shit.
Yep, get a free laptop.
Get them Obama phones and stuff,
yeah,
right?
Probably get a camera.
Dude, that's fucking dope, actually. So you can be borderline homeless and still have all the new shit, huh?
Definitely.
Like there's no excuse.
An iPhone, yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna roast Android people even harder now.
Yeah, I saw.
Because you have no excuse.
Yeah, homeless people have cell phones nowadays. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. No, legitly. I gotta ask. You were saying, you're being petty right now. Like, what's going on? Like,
why you're so nosy.
Well, I've been kind of like thinking about like the show lately, and I've been having some amazing conversations with some ladies, kind of like not saying I'm gonna do this whole show or anything, but kind of like playing a therapist, like kind of figuring out like why they're going through the issues they're going through, and I just really want to peel layers if I can just kind of ask, like what's going on? Like, why are you being petty? Or why are y'all having a situation right now, at all? Like, why aren't you just happy in a relationship?
So I am happy. It was just a very small situation. Basically, my boyfriend's on tour right now with a celebrity C-lister. But we got into it earlier, basically, and the guy put him on his Instagram with his 2 million followers and was like, yeah, he's single, get at him, ladies, all the bad bitches, yeah, woo woo. And I'm like, so yes, I'm single.
Okay. Well, so like, do you? I gotta ask. Do you like plan on being like in a serious relationship with this guy?
Well, we're 8 months in. We're young. We're not really.
But you don't like think you're gonna like. That's what I'm saying. You don't think you're gonna like get married and like have kids with this guy or anything
I
in the future.
definitely
Do you
would.
think this is just like a fun thing for right now, or is like it's serious? Like you really want to be with him in the future?
Well, it's fun because we're young. We
Yeah.
have had talks about, the future, marriage, kids, and all that. I can see myself getting married to him.
Oh wow.
But we just have to work out the kinks,
How old are you?
I'm 25.
How old is he?
26.
26. Okay. Um. So like the thing is like it's good that like you're already thinking about wanting something serious, stuff like that. The problem is that you're doing something where you're like kind of using what makes you happy, like probably his lifestyle and the type of guy he is and all the fun stuff. And you're associating all of those short term, mating strategy things with a long term partner. In reality, sometimes those people aren't the best long term partners. And then you're sitting there trying to change somebody for years and years and years, or you're trying to make somebody a type of person that they're just not really going to ever be. And guys are the type of people where we're going to sit there and like kind of be like, yeah, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to lead y'all. Like, we don't like to lie to y'all. Like, women can't handle being lied to. So we don't, or telling you the truth. So we will tell you lies all day long. Because you can't handle the fucking truth. So like, whenever you like think about it, like, just be careful. Like, and that's why I was asking, like if it's just a fling or something, no big deal. Like, I highly encourage you to have fun for the next couple years,
7, going on 8 months in.
And did he make it official?
Yeah.
He told you, I want you to be my girlfriend? Did y'all live together or anything?
No. I've never lived with a man ever in my life.
That's scary.
Why?
Because you're 25 years old.
I think that's good.
Lived with multiple
I don't
girls.
have any kids. I court properly. I don't believe in.
I think if you courted properly, you've already been living with a dude.
Like living. No, I can go spend the night and I can stay a few days and I can go home.
I just want I understand like why that's beneficial for sure. It's beneficial for both of y'all to be able to do whatever the fuck you want all the time. Yeah, you have the privilege of nobody ever judging you for any of your actions or anything that you do on a daily basis.
Private, yeah.
Yes.
They're not there.
So because of that, whenever two people don't actually live together but they're in a relationship, you're just basically setting yourself up to where y'all can both just cheat on each other if you feel like it. Y'all can both just choose your friends over each other all the time. Y'all can both have really bad habits financially and all types of things, and nobody's going to be there to check each other on it or anything like that. Living with each other just makes you accountable all the fucking time for certain things that people don't want to be held accountable for usually. So like that's why like I don't know, like I just want you to know there's tons of guys out here, like tons of them that would love, like you're a beautiful girl. They would love to have a good relationship with a woman that's like actually wants all this decisions, and they're gonna be having an opposite lifestyle of him. Where I'm saying like y'all get spend all the time together. He's not gonna be posted places where 2 million women can see him and stuff like that. And he's gonna be the type of guy that's good and loyal to you probably, and you have no worries. Like I make fun of women who come on this show and they are dating athletes, and they're like, why is he sleeping around or why is he doing this? It's like, well, why are you dating an athlete? Like this is your fault. This is not his fault for him exercising the options. Like y'all have no idea what it feels like to be a man, especially a high value man at a young age. And we have 17 times testosterone of y'all going through your body. Like women have anywhere from 12 to 50 milligrams testosterone going through them. Men have anywhere from fucking 200 on the hyper low side to 1200. So like y'all can't even fathom, and that's directly tied to horniness, to libido. So like y'all can't even fathom like a horniness of a guy of that high caliber that has women throwing themselves at him almost. You can't even imagine having to hold back like that, like dick like that, so because of that, rappers are the same though, or anybody in the music industry. It's the same shit. I'm gonna say it to anybody, just like the people who like the athletes. Just understand what you're chasing, and understand that you're probably chasing something that you're more than likely going to lose at. But like I said, have fun. I highly encourage y'all to get shit out of your system sometimes. Like, go and have fun and get it out of your system, but just be prepared to change up at a certain point, because like what's really sad is like girls really easily get digmatized, or really easily fall in love, or like get really attached to people, and y'all are the ones that are going to end up hurting, in the end of this. It's not him. Trust me, he's going to be good. Like, if y'all break up, or say y'all are together for 2 or 3 years, and y'all finally break up or something, trust me, he's still going to have multiple. Like, if he cheated on you and he already was having multiple girls and that's why it ended, trust me, he's not going to be sad. He's still going to have multiple girls he's fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to make a difference in his fucking life. So, like, but you're going to be the one that's going to be really sad, and he's going to still be moving up in stats. You're going to have a hard time because you're older, finding the same caliber of guy.
I'll be 28.
Yeah, so women lose in relationships. So, or like, so the way that works is like, the longer a guy keeps you in a relationship, he's going to be higher status, higher value as time goes on, and the woman is going to get older. So y'all's goal, as soon as you get a relationship, is you need to get a ring as soon as possible, because that's how you get leverage back. Because you have no leverage if you don't get the ring from him at a certain point. Yeah. That's why like sometimes I have to tell the girls, don't sleep around, or like don't have sex with people early, because sometimes you lose leverage when you do that. And like the leverage is everything for y'all to be able to actually keep like a power dynamic that's healthy. You want to have like a little bit of leverage, not too much, but if you sit there and like you just give out the pussy like really easily, and you always get everything when you ask for it and stuff like that, it's like he has to do nothing for you. He never has to take you out to eat. He never has to provide anything for you. Every time he calls you and says, I want your vagina, you just come. So like, so women just have to realize though, like how to leverage themselves. And I think a lot of women try to only leverage with their pussy, and it's like, come on.
There's a saying.
There's more to it. Yeah.
They say you why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Yeah.
But I think that comes with age as well, because an 18, 19, 20, 20-year-old girl, they're not thinking like that, because I was that girl. So like I've been in, this is my 3rd serious relationship. The last one I definitely I did have a ring, but I think we were not, it was, I'm sure you want to know. Basically, long story short, he was mentally and emotionally like immature. And he was hard-headed, so he couldn't listen, to, I'm a woman, I'm very emotional. You shouldn't be as emotional as me because you have testosterone, correct? Okay, so basically,
I can still be emotional sometimes.
He would get mad at me and block me, and then block me for weeks at a time. So instead of crying about it, I'm like, okay, I'm single, right? Okay, so boom. He finds out, goes through my phone like a year later and sees everything I did when I was single. He can't correlate the times that I was single because you do it so much. You block me and get mad every fucking day. So it's just like, yeah. And hey, so boom. Now I'm a lying, cheating hoe and all types of just hoes. He told my mama I was a hoe.
He told my mama.
He told my mama I was a hoe in front of me.
Niggas is wildin'.
Wildin'. So he actually just posted on Facebook the other day. He was like, I could have married that crazy motherfucker. And it's just, it be stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know.
Why are you still watching him?
Because I told you, remember I said I could find your birthday? Yeah. So I just.
So you're like that girl that like be watching, like got all your fake accounts, and you just be watching everything and stuff like that?
No, I can't.
I gotta ask, is this healthy? Like, you think that's healthy to do stuff like that?
I'm very nosy. And I just have to make sure everything's. I'm not saying that I watch
sweetheart.
Listen.
That's
I don't
not healthy.
Okay. In my defense, he still does business with my mother. Sometimes when they're on
your mother, that's a shame on your mother. Why is she still doing business? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, you mean
she has a trucking company? He drives
that
trucks
kind of business
and stuff like that. So when I can't, I need to know what's going on, basically. But we don't talk. I don't reach out. He purposely parks his car at the truck stop. He doesn't come over. Like, I don't see him. He doesn't want anything to do with me, and that's fine. But yeah,
it doesn't sound like it's fine. It sounds like you're kind of hurt.
No, we were together for like 3 years. Well, damn near 3 years.
I got. Who did you love the most in your life? Like, which boyfriend have you like loved the most of all the guys that you've slept with?
I think I love this boyfriend the most because out of all of them, you don't get too many emotions from a dude. Like, and it's not like manipulative or like overpowering or like overbearing. He's just attentive, emotional, and caring, and like take money aside. Like, it's there. It's that. So That's why. My ex, he would, throw it out, and he wouldn't say I'm sorry. He wouldn't, conform. He wouldn't
take responsibility.
Yes, he would watch me cry on the couch, and then that shit just felt so lame. It's like, look at you. I would tell myself.
Wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you would be crying on the couch? Why?
I'm a woman. I'm most likely doing it for attention.
Wow.
But because
at least she's being honest, guys. We talk about this all the time. Women cry only to manipulate.
I'm very self-aware, so I was definitely crying for attention because words didn't help. So I have to cry, and he would just look at me, do shit like that. Or he's the reason why I broke my leg. Accountability. You want to talk about accountability?
The fuck wrong with you?
What did you do to break your leg?
I'm disabled for life.
How did you break your leg? What happened? Did he push you or something? Like
he might as well have. Okay, basically, I was very childish, and I think that happened so I could grow up because I was very childish. Basically, we're at Walmart. I wanted a skateboard. We're in Cedar Hill. I wanted a skateboard. I couldn't wait until we got home. I busted the skateboard open in the parking lot, and I was riding it, right? Okay, I'm not self-aware at this moment. He's hating. I see him over there. He's looking at me like, she riding a skateboard. Who she thinks she is? I'm like, okay. He was like, hey, hold this laptop and don't break it. Mind you, I'm childish. You wouldn't do that to a child, right? You wouldn't be like, I know you're riding a bike, but here, hold this rock. They're going to hold the rock and try to ride the bike. They're not going to think, hey, let me put this down. Or, so I wasn't thinking. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold the laptop. No, wrong. It was me in the middle like now. Both of y'all are cars. 2 cars was coming. It was either jump or get hit. So I jumped, but I couldn't break my fall because I had the laptop. And then I'm screaming on the ground, crying in agony. He's literally looking at me. He's like 20 feet away. He's looking at me. My leg is like bent like that. I call my mom. She don't believe me because I'm a jokester. I always play around and be like, my dog, anything. So I'm like, Mama, I broke my leg. She's like, girl, stop playing with me. I'm at work. I had to FaceTime her and put my head on the pavement and show her like, I'm on the damn ground, man down. Like, come call the ambulance, something. But yeah, he ain't shit. But basically,
he's over there like, is the laptop okay?
Literally. And that shit cost me $32,000. My insurance paid $24,000, so I paid the difference. But that was like,
should have went through your government benefits.
Well, unfortunately, I don't qualify for government benefits. I'm sure they would have paid for everything too, and that's fucked up.
Should have learned to be poor. That's how you get away with more shit. No, it sounds like, yeah, we're definitely learning about some weird relationships tonight. It sounds like, guys. I gotta ask you though now, kind of like the same thing that like I talked to her about. What is going on with your dating life? Like, I just want to peel another like before we get into the subject for tonight. I just want to play therapist for a second. Is there anything that's like going on like with dating right now with you and any guys that you're just like, this is frustrating? Like, why is this guy doing this? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I don't know. My dating life is a little, I'm just kind of in this weird mode, right? I got out of a pretty long relationship, the longest relationship I was ever in. And as far as emotional wise, I think that was very spot on to what I thought that I wanted, to marry and be with. There was a lot of other things that weren't there. And so it was kind of hard to like come to that agreement, right? And to dissipate from that relationship, right? So I've kind of been, doing a lot of self-reflecting because I think there's a lot of things that I definitely could have done better in that relationship to either encourage or support or change mindsets that could have molded the life that I think that we both deserve together, if that makes sense. And right now it's just it's really difficult, number one, to find a man that I'm attracted to, just straight up, because I just kind of have to be, I can't get past that. Yeah. And I'm really not like somebody who, I've got to have the abs, I've got to have all that. Like, it's nothing like that. I'm kind of, I don't think I ask for a lot, and then outside of that, it's more or less just kind of like having a brain and not trying to like crazy rush things. I'm 28 years old, right? So I'm definitely in a higher age group of dating, and a lot of guys that I meet now that could see like, oh, she's pretty, like, sure, let's go ahead and see if there's something to pursue. They immediately just want to be like, so I want to have babies. And it's like, I want you to want to have babies. And it's like, yeah, but like, I want to be able to see like a reason to have a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have a lot of reasons to have a kid in this world and in this life. Not saying it wouldn't ever happen, but it's just really difficult to kind of find that,
That's
right?
a hard one for
Yeah.
dating right now because every
Yeah.
guy is thinking about his future and his family.
And that's understandable. That's perfect, right?
Yeah.
But I want them to like, okay, the second that I'm not just gung ho, like, yeah, pop a baby in me, they almost just really retract. I mean, extremely retract. And it's just like, God, this is just crazy because 5 years ago, it felt like I was supposed to be that girl. And the guys were like, hey, can like we figure this out for a second? So, but yeah, I think that it's just a really weird balance of finding a guy who does want to commit and then finding a guy who wants to commit way too fast to where it's like a big turnoff for me.
Yeah.
It's so weird because women have a balance issue. Like y'all have an issue with finding, because there's so many guys being thrown at you. It's like so many options are either extreme one way or extreme the other, and you're trying to find something perfectly in the middle.
I don't like
And
it.
for guys, it's like they're all chasing things, and it's like every time they get a hold of what they're chasing, it's either one of the two extremes. It's either a girl that's like hyper prude or it's a girl that's like a hyper hoe. And so like it's like all the guys, they're complaining and they're going crazy because they're like, damn, as soon as I fucking get a hold of one, she ends up being, this, or she ends up being that. It's like, it's so crazy. Like I can't fathom being single right now because it's so fucking like bad. Like I
had
feel
a
like
crazy situation happen recently, like legitimately last week, right? So this is all within about like a 5-day span. Okay, this is a man that I actually had like a small fling with. We worked together. It was very, very brief, like literally just made out like a couple times and then decided, hey, maybe we should just like, you're on one path, I'm on another path. And like maybe 5 years ago, right? He randomly hits me up on Facebook Messenger, right? Just randomly. And I'm like, sup, dude? And he's like, sup, dude? Anyway, it gets to the point where he's like, well, looks like you're ready to date me now. And I'm like, I guess so, right? So let's figure it out. He gets into this like whole serious thing. Like, I definitely want kids. I definitely want to get married. I'm not trying to waste my time. I'm not trying to play any games. I'm like, sure. Like, I'll put as much effort into you as you put into me, Literally within 24 hours of that conversation, he ghosted. And I'm like, cool, dude. Like, that's totally fine. Like, I'm glad this was 4 days, but like, cool. I didn't go knocking on that door. You know what I mean?
Is it normal? So like, because
It's
for
crazy.
me personally, like I never talk about those type of serious things with anybody.
I
Like
thought it was weird.
even on a first date, like don't get me wrong, I'll talk about if I'm a relationship person or not. But I don't go as far as talking about marriage and kids and all those. But I will be like, I'm a relationship guy, or I'm trying to be single. Like I'll be upfront with what I'm trying
Serious
to
or not,
have.
right?
Yes,
I
like that.
told-
But like all those other details, that's all things that you kind of come with as time goes on. Like you don't just sit there. I don't think you whip your dick out on the table that early.
I legit responded,
Kinda weird.
I would rather have these conversations in person and not on Messenger, I told my best friend, I was like, it feels like I'm on Love is Blind right now. Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's making me feel like that.
It's crazy.
It's just like what I always talk about. Most guys are pretty fucking weird or losers right now. And I'm sorry, ladies. I'm really trying to mentor these guys to become bigger than what they are, but it's really bad right now.
Sergio, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
Do you think, because this isn't the first time that we heard this, I believe it was like 2 episodes ago, some of the ladies talking about the exact same thing, that guys are just saying they want kids and a family up front, or marriage as well included with that. Do you think that this is part of when we say men lie? Like this is usually what we would think that women want. Oh yeah, I want marriage, I want kids. So maybe that might be their agenda.
I actually think that, yeah, you're 1,000% right. What these guys are doing, ladies, is that the reason why he ghosted you within one day was it was all get sex tactic. It was all what can I tell this girl that's gonna make her want to hit me up and want to come fuck me right now? And in his little brain, he actually thought that fucking telling you that he was some serious dude that wants to just wife you and have put babies in you. That means you were just gonna your ovaries were just gonna explode and just want his sperm all inside of them. And
yeah, I felt like SpongeBob coming out of the ocean, like.
Yeah, that was like, dried up, man. Like, no, I really cannot believe that this is actually a thing. But yeah, but it does sound like what we always talk about. Y'all got to remember, just guys lie all the fucking time. If you do find one, it's probably like the weirdest thing in the world, and you should probably look at him like he's a unicorn or something, because that shit's just not normal today. It's just a lot of guys are really desperate. Y'all gotta understand, like I don't know if you've heard this because you said that you watched the show a little bit, but like 1/3 of men in between the ages of 18 and 30 haven't had sex in the last year. So like I think he's just part of one of those brackets, and he's just he's getting desperate. He's saying whatever type of fucking things he can think of to try to get some box. It's scary.
It's not working.
Yeah, it's not working, bro.
That's why they have prostitutes.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. I gotta ask really quick.
Like-
Why, like, if they have prostitutes, like, would you want to date a guy that like went to prostitutes or ever went to one before?
How would I know?
Um,
I mean, that's a good point.
no, like that is a good point. So like you say you find out 20 years, like y'all have been married for 10, 20 years, and you find out that before y'all got married he was a serial prostitute user. Maybe
Yikes.
maybe like you didn't, maybe he hasn't done it once during y'all's marriage or anything like that, but you find out before y'all were married, before y'all dated and all that, he had 15 bodies, but it's only they were all prostitutes before he met you. Would that make you feel some type of way about the guy you married?
It would just depend. People get prostitutes for different reasons, and there are also different kinds of prostitutes, like level wise. So you have like the $5 prostitute. She's probably the one that has
So you're gonna
crabs.
excuse the like, so
No,
if he's
for
paying
real.
like
The
the
$5
expensive ones.
prostitute has crabs, and then the one that charges like the top tier, she's most likely clean, and she won't let you,
So like you would excuse
or
based
he
off
might
of
have
which one?
money. Some people, they like famous dudes. They could come and get a regular girl. I might look like one, as far as like the aesthetic and all that, but I'm a regular girl. But it's like for some reason they want prostitutes. I don't know if it's the privacy, because it's like, or I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to try to wow you. I don't have to try to butter you up. Like, you're already laying down on the bed waiting to get fucked, and I'm gonna pay you, and I'm gonna go back to my life. Like, it's probably easier to just get prostitutes
Well, yeah.
than
So
to, So,
yeah, it's just still not necessary. Like the thing is like
but
when
that would make me feel a type of way. Maybe he has some type of something going on up there to where he has,
he's an
so,
addiction, he has
yeah.
a sex addiction, or he's the type. Like the biggest thing is that. Well, let me rephrase the question a little bit. Would you be okay if he still, like, y'all were married for 20 years and you found out that every year he went to one prostitute?
Yes, I would. I can't say what
Or
what
say
I
every
would do.
5 years, like every 10 years, like what's too much or what's okay to you? If he did it once every 10 years, you'd be okay with that?
It honestly depends on the situation. If we were old, like, okay, let's just say we're like 60, and I'm like, you know what, like, shop's closed, it fucking hurts, like, I don't want it. You might as well just go over there.
Yeah, obviously,
Like,
yeah.
and we have money, and shit's fine, and I'm sitting on, I'm at a lakefront or somewhere.
But say like y'all have kids, your kids are 16 years old, 8 years old,
Oh
5
no,
years,
because
like
that's too close to the 16-year-old, and it's like, that would be weird. Like, no. So,
no, so
just, again, it just depends, honestly. Because I'm a Libra, so I know you said we were
oh
gonna
no,
get into that
she's a Libra.
later.
She's a Libra,
So
guys.
I'm very understanding, and I see both sides. Yeah. So if it's right, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. Like, despite how I feel about it. So
Okay.
I mean, it would just depend, honestly.
Would you be okay with being with a guy that, or like, would you like a guy that went to prostitutes? Like, could you marry a guy and you knew in his
that's
past
a
that he went to prostitutes?
Okay.
Well, we're not. We're gonna say the same thing. Like you were married to him for 10, 20 years, and you find out that he had 15 wives, but they were all prostitutes before y'all got married. He breaks it. He breaks down and tells you one day, he's like, "Look, babe, I know I told you I was this big player before we got married, but I paid for every one of those girls." Like, how would you feel?
Oh, my first thought is yikes. Like,
Yeah, I know.
God bless America. Like, yikes. I don't know.
Would
That's
you
a
feel
lot.
just disgusted?
I think that would be probably very close to a initial reaction. Now I'm not.
Now, is divorce on the table for either of y'all when you hear something like this? This happened before y'all were married.
I think it depends on the state of the marriage.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, I mean, if it's like a final straw kind of thing, it's like, all right, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? But if it's like, I don't know if that makes sense. But
I'm gonna pivot to something
like, if
different.
if he's been cheating and cheating and cheating, and then he's like, you know what, I've paid for all of them, and it's like, holy crap,
Paid for them? Now,
like,
that
disgusting.
changes. You gave them money?
My money.
So yes,
Like,
that,
or
now
our
that.
futures money, like our business, like our, what our financial futures money should be, or
Yeah.
what that should go to, then I would be a little upset about
Yeah,
that.
see, like I would see. That's why I was just so against the whole prostitute thing when you first said it, because it's just like, yeah, most women are not okay with that shit, because it's y'all's financial future. Like, it's literally y'all's resource. That's your resources too. Like, why are you fucking wasting off my resources on your stupid bitches?
Well,
you know
what if you fuck a woman because you paid for it, you brought something home, you fucked the woman that you wanted to marry, she wasn't able to have your kids anymore because of your dick, because of your greed, you know what I mean?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, there's certain STDs that women can get that will
that you
allow them that
can't.
they can't have
Yeah.
babies anymore.
And that's his fault.
not necessarily his. Well, in that situation, it could be his fault.
My first serious relationship, I was like, we met at 18. Well, I was 18. He was like 23, 24. He was in the Air Force. Basically, he was a serial cheater. And I basically just told him, like, bro, like, if you're going to cheat, just wear a condom. Like,
If you're gonna
that's it. Just wear a condom and don't put your mouth on anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just went from that to, like, us not having sex like that. But he's still buying me flowers every day. He's still giving me money. He's still taking care of me. Everything's cool. So I'm like, this must be how rich people feel. Like, you don't care, really. And I'm not fucking you, so it doesn't fucking matter. And you're still taking care of me. Like, that's fine. But
Yeah. Rich people live in a different world. I gotta ask. I was pivoting a little bit. If y'all were married to a guy and 20 years later you find out that he did gay pornography before y'all got together,
oh no, that's a no-brainer. It's no.
you would divorce him?
Yeah, definitely.
You'd be like,
Definitely.
oh, you were doing gay porn before we got together.
You're
Before
gay.
I'm out on that.
you'd
I'm
be out
definitely
too.
out on that.
It's something that we actually like to talk about sometimes. That like there's so like. Do you think a guy would feel the same if I had a table full of guys here and I asked them, guys, would y'all be with a woman and 20 years later y'all find out your woman was a lesbian before y'all got married? Do y'all think guys would have the same opinion?
No.
Not at all.
Mine would.
Mine
Because
would.
I
Why?
had a
I'd say
girlfriend.
I'd say he's pretty fruity. So
I had a girlfriend and he was just like,
nah,
doing all that.
he's like that's the most feminine thing I've ever heard. That guy, because most guys would be excited about it and be like, hell yeah, you down for women? Cool. Because like I'll explain to y'all why. So like if a guy is gay, if say like the guy is gay or something, or say like you're about to get married to a guy and you find out from your girlfriend that he did gay porn for the last 10 years and he never told you and you're about to get married, the reason why you would call up that wedding and be like, oh no, we're not doing this, is because it's already scary, your guy getting taken by other women.
Right.
But
Keeping
if
him satisfied.
yeah, but if you know in the back of your head that he could also be taken by a guy, which there's tons of them around, he has guy friends, he's always doing business with men and stuff, it makes you go, this is super dangerous for your resources. Like we're always talking about, that's a huge risk to your future of your resources for yourself. So why would you ever date that? Whereas for a guy, we don't have those same fucking worries. If anything, we want her to like women, so she wants to bring more women around so we could do both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like it's complete opposites. Like there's certain things about men and women that we're completely opposites about, and that's okay. We don't need to sit there and be mad about it. Let me get to the actual questions now. Sorry, so guys, like the show tonight is supposed to be about what the opposite sex is attracted to. Okay, so our first question is going to be, in your opinion, what are the top qualities men look for in women, and how about women looking for qualities in men? What's the top qualities that men are looking for in women?
I think beauty is going to be like, they want to be physically attracted. They want to fuck them, right?
Yep.
I think that they look for somebody who can be good to their kids, definitely. And then I personally think that a lot of men do look for a woman who has a little bit of brains on her. You know what I mean? They want her to be smart. So that's me personally.
You think we want brains? I'm just kidding.
A little bit, just enough.
It just depends, man.
Just enough to do the taxes.
If she's smart but not a smart ass, it's cool. But if she's a smart ass with her smart, like while being smart, then that's not fucking cool. You know, it just depends. Like, I don't know. What about what are the women looking for in men?
I think definitely it's attractive. It's going to be there. Successful, like money is going to be one for women. And then feeling secure. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I guess being able to protect them.
Protect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Protect, provide. You said, attraction. What about like these girls that end up with super ugly dudes?
Then that's definitely, in my opinion, getting burned by so many like super hot guys that they're like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I just want you to take care of me and love me, Just take care of me and love me, and that's it. I'll do everything else. That's what they think.
I just don't think attraction is that big. Like I've had friends my entire life that were overweight, ugly, whatever it is, and they still had girlfriends. And it's because like sometimes women really can put certain physical features on the side if he's a provider and a protector. And it's really not hard to be a provider now it is hard to be a provider, but like a protector, like any guy with a fucking gun can be a protector if you really think about it. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's not as hard as people think it is. For you, what do you think is qualities that men are looking for in a woman? And then what are qualities that women are looking for in men?
Well, modern day men and women don't know what they want. So they only know what somebody else wants. But I think that men, they just care about looks, and women just care about money. and they want to know if you're gonna cash app them day one of getting my number. Can you buy me lunch today? And men want to know if you're gonna open your legs day one. So it's like, and it's a disconnect.
Prostitution.
Yeah, and if it's like you're worried about the wrong thing. You're worried about if I can provide. You're worried about if I can have sex when the coochie is already there and the money's already there. But if he can't provide, you shouldn't give him your number in the first place, for one.
Well, if those things were true, why does anybody have sex? You know, like we are, like you said, we already got the sex. Like we can masturbate. Like you can easily get, you know, dick from anybody. Like the money,
It's
you
not
know,
the
like
same.
the money's already there. So like, why do we even seek the relationships and everything? Like why? There's like something driving it, right? Like there's some type of like purpose to all of this, kind of. It's like as if we were meant to be together.
Yeah, a man and a woman. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just crazy though, because when you really think about it, you know, like you were simplifying it to, you know, guys are just looking for looks, women are just looking for
modern day men. It's not everybody's a modern day man. You're not a modern day woman. You're not a modern
so
day man.
so you would say like modern day, it's just a modern day issue. It's just a modern day issue. So you don't think that, like, if we look back 300,000 years ago, you don't think that women were looking for, you know, like you said, money now, but money is just provisioning. You don't think that women were looking for a provider back then?
Yeah, it was just in a different way. But now, I don't even think they want a provider necessarily because, oh, I can provide for myself. I can do this. I can do that. But one thing you can do, but you just want money. It's not even about, oh, can you take my trash out? It's not about, oh, it's about, can you cash at me? So I really
I
feel
would
that way.
argue those girls that act like that, that's just a prostitute. Okay.
Modern day women.
No, yeah.
That's
So
a hoe.
I wouldn't say all of them though. Say like not all women are hoes, guys.
No, that is a.
Yeah. But no, there are girls that do that, but they're just prostitutes. And then
Yeah.
that's all we need to understand whenever like somebody tries to make something like that. It's just like, oh, she's a prostitute. There's a lot of people out here though that aren't like that though. You know, like
I kind of do that, but I do it in a way to where it's like I want to know if, like, it's not even about the money. It's like, okay, if push comes to shove and I get pregnant, can you pay for the abortion? Like, do you have a savings or stuff like that? That's like providing security. Basically, I care about security, not necessarily providing, because you could provide in any way. Like, you gave me this water. Like, you opened my door. You walked me from my car. Like, that's providing, is it not?
it's protecting,
providing,
Yeah.
being a leader, whatever. But it's free.
Yeah.
So that's what I really care about in my old age.
Yeah, like it's like I agree. Like you want somebody around you, you know, to protect and be there and lead you and do all those things. But at the end of the day, like a provider is something that is a good thing. Like all women, like what you're saying, like what you're talking about, all women are hypergamous. Like, and it's okay. Hypergamy just says that women like to date across and up social hierarchies. So like, and men aren't the same. Men will date across and down. Like a guy who's a millionaire will literally go date a McDonald's worker girl. Like it's not like it doesn't matter to him at all. If she's beautiful, then she's gonna make. If she's nurturing and she's loving, then that's a good girlfriend. It doesn't matter about her status or her job.
Yeah.
Like it's been like that through all of history. Kings can marry a peasant. It's like, but a queen isn't going to marry a peasant. It's never going to be the other way around. It's never. Women never date down. Like they always want to. If we look at statistics, it's 52% is what y'all usually want. So if you're making like 100K a year, you usually want somebody who makes like about 152K a year. So like when we look at all those things, like, and it's been happening throughout all of history, we got to accept it and just understand like that's okay, but don't make it where you're a prostitute and you're just asking for money all the time. Like, and you were saying, you know, sometimes I do that because you want to like kind of like an insurance to make sure kind of or something. But you got to understand you reap what you sow. So if you sit there and you put yourself out as a certain type of person, then you're only going to attract a certain type of man. So those type of men that will send you that money or do those type of things, those are simps. 1,000% simps. I'll explain to you what a simp is really quick.
I don't like that word.
I know. I'm about to be, and the reason why is because nobody defines it correctly today. And so like this is the reason why everybody hates the word simp, is because they don't even understand what it really means, because everybody has a different definition on the internet what a simp is. But I drill it down to one thing because that confusion is what's fucking dating up. If we drill down to what it really is, a simp is just an unequal exchange of value. Okay? So like say like I take you on 5 dates and you never even give me a peck or anything, which there's plenty of fucking simps out here that have so much money and they're so bored or they're old or they're just losers. They don't get no sex. They will do that, right? They'll take you on 5 dates gladly and never get a kiss from you. those guys are simps, and it's because it's unequal. They're not getting anything in return. They're not like, unless you think that that he values your time. Like some women would be like, well, he likes my time, and it's like, no, trust me, like guys really actually want sex and stuff. So that's an unequal exchange of value. So when you look at a lot of these situations that like you're in, you're just actually filtering for simps. Like you're actually filtering for guys that do that for not just you, but many women. There's many women that will ask for $10. If he's giving you $10 when you ask for it,
He's giving
there's
somebody else, yeah.
every one of the girls that did the same thing that were pretty, he did the same thing for them. And you know what that means? What were we talking about earlier? What does that mean that he's going to be in the future if y'all ever had kids or ever did anything like that? What's he going to be doing? He's going to be doing that all the time, right? With a bunch of little stupid hoes, right? That's a simp. And a simp is always somebody that just hasn't turned into a trick yet. A simp is somebody that they just haven't.
What's a trick?
A trick is somebody that straight up just pays for the pussy. Like they'll just straight up be like, "Hey, like I'm just gonna throw you $300 and I'm gonna fuck." Like that's just a trick. And like a simp, they're just sitting there trying. Like they're the whole world has told them, "Oh, just take care of women and give them money and do all this stuff, and you'll get what you want sooner or later." And sooner or later, some of them get pissed off, and you're like, "You know what? I spent $400 on a bag for that girl, and she never fucked me. Fuck it. I'm just gonna spend $400 over here and fuck this hooker and trick off." Because if I do that, at least I get what I wanted in the end. So that's what I'm saying. Most simps are just guys that have not turned into a trick yet, or they're undercover tricks, and they're simping, and they also trick all the time too. And what I'm saying is those guys give out their resources. They have no self-worth. They have no good self-esteem. If they had good self-esteem, if they knew their self-worth, they would never do any of that. Me personally, I don't chase any women at all. I will never chase a woman, because the women that really care about me and really love me will always come to me. Like they see that I'm valuable, and they're like, I want to enter into your kingdom. I want to build you what you're building. I want to come and help you and be your helper. That's what really drives people to become the best person that they can become. Most relationships are not like that today. It's where the woman completely leads the relationship. Like, and it's a simp dude, that just gives her whatever the fuck she wants, lets her do whatever she wants, And don't get me wrong, you'll be really happy, and you're definitely gonna win in the end. Like you'll definitely end up winning that whole game, even if y'all divorce, whatever the fuck happens 5-10 years later, you're gonna win every time. But you're not gonna be happy, and you're gonna end up divorced, a divorcee woman, And like whenever when I have to give women advice on this show, sometimes it's really hard, because it's like I can give you tons of advice to lock down a really wealthy or guy that's gonna love you. He's gonna be the perfect little simp beta cuck and let you do whatever you want and be really happy, but I always have to tell it, comes with some negatives. You're probably not going to be wet for him after a year or two. Like you're not going to have the same feelings that you had for those guys that made you chase, like that were like always making you chase them and shit. Like those are the guys that you're really down for, but they're also the guys that are really hard to lock down.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to make a choice. Do you want to like we always talk about, there's short-term mating strategies and there's long-term mating strategies, and a lot of y'all are like, I want the short-term guy because he's sexy and he's cool and he's fun and he's crazy, or he has all those features that I really like and are fun, but I want him to be a long-term mate. Or y'all find the long-term guy who's a beta cuck dude, but he's just not cool enough. He doesn't have that vibe. Like he doesn't make me feel so good, like the butterflies and shit. So it's like I feel bad for y'all because y'all are constantly trying to fight for the, finding something in the middle. I always say that like women go like they'll date like the really hot guy and they'll be like, fuck this, like he's a whore and he gets all the girls, I don't want to deal with this. And then you'll date like the nerdy guy and you'll be like, oh, he's a beta simp, he's way too needy, he's in here, he texts me way too much, he's way too crazy, and he's stuck up my ass too much, like he doesn't let me do anything. Yeah, and then you go back up here to this guy, and what women normally do is they go boom 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 until they hit one that's kind of in the middle. Like you'll go up, like you'll find a guy who's like valuable, or attractive, but he doesn't know it. Like he's attractive, but he's just never really like tried. He's always been in relationships or something. He doesn't know it, and then you think you found like this really lucky prize, but in reality, he just doesn't know his worth or something. And then you'll settle with him. He's like, oh yeah, he doesn't cheat. He's a really good guy, and he's attractive, nice. Or you'll find a nerdy dude who's like kind of nerdy and stuff like that, but maybe he's a little attractive. Like he's a little bit dorky, and his emotions aren't all there. Like he's not a really stoic man or anything, but he's kind of attractive, and like he's good enough, And I think that's what usually happens is y'all just end up finding somebody that's kind of good enough on one of those ends. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Y'all, it's not set. You got to remember, you're not settling. You're just what's the word I always say? Compromising. Yeah. Don't have that like settle word in your vocabulary. For this other question, can you share an example of a common misconception men? Or no, actually, I wanted to skip this one. How do you think societal trends and media influence what we believe the opposite sex finds attractive? I'm gonna say it again. Share or how do you think societal trends and the media influences what we believe the opposite sex finds attractive? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a huge impact. I mean, first of all, you're gonna go and look at on Instagram what females are getting the likes, right? And why are they getting the likes on that page, right? Oh, is it her ass out this time? Cool. Is her makeup popping? Cool. Like, gotta check that box, you know? Especially like for the men. And then I don't know. I mean, I guess I had an ex at one point that I had posted a selfie like months after we'd broken up, right? Some random guy commented like a picture or commented like a fire emoji, just something random, right? Small, nothing even big, right? My ex went and stalked that guy's page. The guy likes vehicles. I sell vehicles. And he was like, he's the perfect guy for you. He's the perfect guy for you. And I'm like, ugh, like, that's not even, I don't even know the guy. You know what I mean?
It's so unattractive when guys act that way.
Stop being a bitch and come on.
I wasn't.
Guys, don't ever fucking act that way
We
with
had
your
a
girl.
big conversation about that. I was like, bro, you gotta quit that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not healthy for you. That's not healthy for me. It just pisses me off. You know,
it's not
so
attractive. Just be like, I dried up.
I literally was like, you could have told anybody else that.
Yeah.
Like anybody but me. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so and sorry if he listens to this one, but it's just that's just true, you know. And that's definitely a social media and and making anything.
It's definitely like so do you think that like the guys, so I know for men, like seeing all the BBLs, seeing all the tit jobs, seeing all this stuff, in the fake faces like face app or whatever it's called, like all that, I know all that is definitely making these guys like have this crazy mentality that women aren't, or like they look like fucking Barbies basically, or like they're not, and basically like only kind of pigeonholing themselves to wanting something like that. Now, I really seriously want to know, is there women going through the same? I'm not saying y'all specifically, but have you ever had your girlfriends? Do you think women also see chiseled men all the time? Like they see a certain type of thing all the time? And do you think that they're doing the same thing? Like they want like a certain status or like a certain lifestyle or like a look because of like, I understand that too. Like y'all want to stand next to a guy that looks attractive, like in pictures with y'all and shit. So I understand there's a little bit of attraction that they look for, but and would you say this is majority of women or most women? Like what percentage would you say of women are really looking for the looks thing? Like and they're deceived because of Instagram. Like how many would you say?
I mean, I really am not like the biggest in a ton of female social circles, but I would guess a solid 45% of women, like a solid 45% are definitely like gonna go through like whatever guy they think looks hot or is nice. Let me go see what kind of woman he likes. Is it the butt? Is it the boobs? Is it the face? You know what I mean? Is it the lips? Then cool, let me mold that.
Okay,
Definitely.
because they want those type of guys. What do you think about that? How, like, what percentage of women do you think that are like really changing their like physical attraction or what they're into because of Instagram and shit like that? Do you think it's influencing them that bad?
I would say, so you said women changing themselves because of Instagram and all that?
Well, not changing themselves necessarily, but like changing what they're looking for. Like, would you say women from 30, 50, 60 years ago weren't looking for the same features as women are today because of all the vanity?
Oh, of course. I was friends with a girl. She basically was like, man, like you always get the good catches. Like I always get the ones that are from the hood and this and that. But I'm like, but then no, she answered her own question. She was just like, well, I don't think I'm worthy of a high value man. And I'm like, well, yeah, that reflects in the men that you allow to come into your life. Like you don't think you're worthy of a ball player or this or that because what, you're a regular girl. Like I'm a regular girl. We're hanging out.
Yeah.
I just carry myself differently. And that's also what it is too. But I also don't think that men are really swayed by the social media bitches because I've had dudes tell me like, nah, I don't like girls that look like you. Like my ex, this was not a thing. Like I had an afro, I didn't have makeup, I couldn't wear like
to the mic force.
Oh, sorry. I had an afro, I couldn't wear like dresses, I couldn't wear maxi dresses, skirts, I couldn't show my legs. Like it was shit like that. So it's like not everybody likes that, and a lot of men will definitely tell you like, no, you look like a hoe, and I don't want to talk to you. And
yeah, you reap what you sow. Like
Yeah.
if you put yourself out there as a certain woman, you're going to bring on the guys that are hoes, or the guys that act a certain way, or they're going to treat you a certain way. Yeah, I really believe that, like, one of my biggest beliefs on the show is that people that are single, I think it's their fault. Like, I think that, like, if you're a really good guy or if you're a really good girl, like, you're actually a good person, somebody can't help but grab you.
Yeah.
Because you put off so much devotion. Like devotion is love, and a lot of people just don't devote to others. Like, they don't give, and like being Christ-like, just constantly be prepared to give to others, nobody ever thinks about how Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples, and like the whole point of like 90% of the shit that he did and talked about was just being humble, like just putting yourself under others, and like being willing to always help others, and like that's the path to just happiness. Like that's just the path to just making yourself happy and like not depressed and shit. And like it's all very simple and scientific when you really think about it. It's all very scientific. And it's just, but most people get hurt early and they're like, I don't want to do that now. I'm not going to do that for him. I'm not going to like help any other people
like
or anything.
simps. Do you think simps are being
They're being hyper
Christ-like?
Christ-like, yes, but they're doing it too much. So like there's a difference, because being Christ-like, you're truly doing it
For
expecting nothing at all. And simps usually are doing it with some type of intent. Like maybe after 6 months she'll fuck me. Maybe after this long, like I'll get this. Like they're always looking for some shining light at the end of the tunnel, and like that's what's stupid about like simping. And I really believe simping is just money, energy, attention, and time. Like those are my four. That's my meat. I gotta protect it. I gotta protect my meat, and I only give it to the women that come and prove that they deserve it. And I have to teach that to every guy, because most guys fucking throw out their meat to every woman.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. Like they'll be texting girls all nice and on the phone with them, and they're not getting anything from them. And like women, like y'all have rosters different than guys. Like the reason why it's a really bad issue when guys simp like this is because some women like have a guy that they're fucking, one guy that they talk to on the phone, one guy that takes them to dinners, one guy that does this. Like they have a roster, but it's one guy wasting his money, one guy wasting his energy, one guy wasting his attention, one guy wasting his time. Like there's just, and like that just fucks it up even more, because then that girl's ruined now because she thinks that like she can get all these resources that's really not realistic.
She's
from
probably
one person.
not going to be happy with one person either.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. She'll never be able to be happy with one guy because she's so used to having to collect resources from multiple.
Well, and it's a throwaway society. So sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's a throwaway society.
Yeah.
And she's most likely a hoe too, because again, at a young age, you don't know how to withhold the pussy if you weren't taught that. Like if that wasn't
if your dad didn't sit there and yell at you.
Shit. So it's like juggling 5-6 different dudes. You can't tell me like you're not that bitch at that young age to just get. Like you can't just get. Like most girls, they get their first simps like around my age, but like no, you were definitely throwing the pussy to the niggas that took you to the movies, and the dude that took you to CC's, and the dude that gave you $10, because you don't, in your head, you don't know that you don't have to do that. Like, so it just, I don't know.
That actually brings up a really good point, because I know you like Sims too, so this is really perfect for you.
I just have sympathy for them, because you should get on live.
Sympathy.
Yeah, if you get on like one of those live apps, it's a lot of Sims on there. You can make money on there too, because they'll be like, I'm not doing shit for a bitch. I paid a bitch bills and I took care of her kids. And I'm like, that was for the wrong woman. It's not the fact that you don't not be a provider anymore. You're just doing it for the wrong type of bitches. Yeah. Maybe if you would go and get with the girls that, like.
Well, no, so that's a good, so this is where shows always get really weird, because we have two different dating strategies. Okay. Like my strategy is to give as least resources as possible and get the pussy. Okay. Your strategy is to get as much resources as possible before you give out the pussy. So like, since we have two complete opposites.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, I'm just saying in general. I'm not even going to say like y'all, but just in general for most women, that's like the goal. So this is where it gets unfair. So if you have given it out easily in the past for less resources or in less time, like say some guys got the hit in a night or two, but most guys now, you're like, you know what? I'm older now. I've learned. Every guy waits 30 days, or every guy waits 2 dates, or every guy waits 3, or like every guy, I'm going to hold these standards now, Do you think that's fair to the guys that, You know, say like a guy's really valuable. You think that's fair to him to sit there and have to wait whenever these broke guys, these losers, they got it fast. They also didn't have to give up a lot of resources. Like why is this guy who maybe is more valuable than those guys having to do even more for you? It's kind of unfair whenever you think about it.
Yeah, manipulation, and also it's like people are allowed to grow, but it's like also that he's a high value man or a good man, just like you knew that they were fuckboys. So the same way you knew that and still gave the coochie up, why wouldn't you give the coochie up now?
Yeah.
Again, it's
The biggest easiest way to put it is women break rules for alphas and they make rules for betas. Okay, so like say he's that guy, you're gonna break rules for him. You're gonna do stuff that you don't do for the other guys.
That's a fact.
You know, and then there's certain guys that you making all types of rules for.
That's
You got to do all this shit, and it's because he's a beta. And like so, at the end of the day, like you got to somehow find balance where you break rules for a guy, and then he also locks you in. Like like me and my girl are a very exceptional thing because she did that, and she got locked in because she provided value afterwards. But most guys that you go and sleep with on the first night, they're probably not going to lock you in. It's a very
Correct.
rare chance. So you have to be very smart about how you do it. I don't know. I feel bad for y'all all the time because it's like I'm so scared because it's like I tell y'all to like keep your legs closed or like make these guys wait, but then it's like fuck. Are you really gonna like that guy after a year? Are you really gonna like him after 6 months after you do it? Are you even gonna like him after he hits after a month or two? You know, like you might be disgusted immediately and like go on to somebody else. It's like I don't know. I feel bad for y'all. Like I'm reading a book right now called Hormonal by fuck I can't think of her fucking name, Marty Hazelton, and it's a really good book. She's a doctor and all she does is study hormones and like women's hormones and stuff like that and like the ovulatory cycle and or ovulatory shift, and it's just crazy like how much y'all's emotions are like y'all's emotions are active, so they're just constantly going with the flow of the month. And I also like in her book right now, she like what I'm reading is that she's talking about how how like we always say that it goes with the cycles of lunar like other women and stuff. It's a total fallacy. Like it's not true at all. Like every woman's just on their own cycle. They just always look like they overlap because they're always so close to each other. And like some women can have like 25-day cycles and some women can have like 32-day cycles, and then some women can be on their cycle for 3 days and some women can be on them for 8 days. So it's like because of all that, it like causes all types of weird overlaps. So we mentally like from a statistical point of view, we like think that we're all on the same, but we're really not. It's just a fallacy, but that's something that like a lot of women believe. Oh, but back to what I was talking about, the active thing. Sorry, I got distracted. I love that book right now. And but like y'all are active, so throughout the month y'all are just doing certain things based off of your ovulation and like based off of y'all having babies. It's called estrus, and like so because y'all like estrus is like how much you're like hormonal, I guess you could say, or like wanting to like kind of have sex or whatever.
Is it estrogen related?
Estrus is like that's why it's called that, but estrus is like in everything. So like every animal on the planet, like everything, they all have estrus, and like that's how like horny they are, I guess you could say, or like how much they're trying to have children, I guess. But yeah, like it's really really interesting because y'all are like this, but guys, we're reactive. So like say like a male is coming to fight, or like there's like a tense situation about to happen, or say there's a hot woman's ass right there, like our testosterone spikes because we want to have sex or we're about to have to fight. Like we move based off of what's going on in the environment, where y'all are just like y'all's emotions are going like a wave and you can't really fucking control it. Honestly, like y'all are just kind of riding that shit, and guys, it's our job to learn to hop on the wave and to sit there and ride that shit. But it's really hard. Like, you know how often in a relationship when it's not going to go that way, and like you're going to have to try to figure out like how y'all are opposites for a second and like just step away from each other and like let y'all's like hormones go down a little bit.
Well, and to that point too, a lot of times, like you say, we're just riding that wave. Like, have you ever woken up just pissed off, just angry? You know what I mean? Like, I doubt it, right? I have.
That's a thing? That's crazy.
Nobody wants to either. Like, nobody wants to, right? So, like,
I don't think you want to bleed out your vagina either.
No, I don't. Like, it's literally crushing shit and killing things. Yeah. And that's why we bleed. It's not fun, guys.
I gotta ask, are either one of you on birth control?
No, never been.
Never?
I have been, but I'm not right now.
Not right now? Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a trend right now. Like, most of the girls that have been coming on the show, they're either getting off of it or they were on it. Like, I definitely see that there's a lot of women waking up right now and saying, fuck birth control, fuck all this shit. Okay, but what about
It made it
antidepressants? Are either
worse.
you on
Oh,
antidepressants?
no, never have.
Okay,
It just
stay away from SSRIs too, because the thing is, SSRIs destroy your libido. Like,
yeah.
they're literally, so many relationships are getting destroyed by SSRIs because it completely just makes it to the men or women don't want to have sex anymore, like you, like at all. And then when you couple that with birth control also, and like, so like when y'all are on birth control, it fools your body into thinking
Thinking
it's
you're
pregnant,
pregnant.
and your estrogen levels are higher.
Mhm.
Yeah. Your estrogen levels are higher. It's
Yep.
estrogen, something I can't think of what the other hormone is, but like when those things are spiked and they're higher, you're not going to have the same emotions. Like, you're not going to be attracted to the same thing. So like, one of the best parts about this book, Hormonal, is she talks about the things that women are attracted to depending on the month. Because like, so like, whenever you're first having your period, you're PMSing, like, you want all the beta males to get away from you. Like, oh, you fucking betas, like, get away. Like, y'all are annoying me. Like, get the fuck away from me and all this stuff. Like, because you just want to be like, it's annoying you. And like, so, but around like 2 weeks later, you want to go outside more. You want to walk more. You're not eating. You're trying to kind of like look for something. It's like, and like, women are known to like eat less 2 weeks later. You're more horny. Your libido's higher. You don't want to eat, but you like walk, but they like walking. And it's like, it's such a weird thing that women do, but it's like, y'all are looking to mate. Like, it's something that's been an animal instinct for hundreds of thousands of years, and you can't just override like that hardware that's inside of you. uh I'm so fascinated by this book, honestly. Like, y'all
Yeah.
should definitely check it
Yeah,
out.
look at his face.
I know.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like, you learn things in this thing and you're just like, I can't believe that women think this way, or like that y'all are attracted to certain things. Like, there's just certain masculine features that you really want 2 weeks into your ovulatory shift. It's fucking crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
I kind of want to piggyback off of that. Like, we all hear this shit. When a woman's on her period, she's a bitch, right? You can say you have a bad attitude or whatever, but going back to what Sergio said, like, you could be on your period and you just want all beta men to get away from you. And that's because they're the only ones that's gonna put up with that shit. Like, the thing is, at the end of the day, you know who the fuck you're dealing with. And if you got a real masculine man in front of you, you don't care how you fucking feel. You might be in the worst fucking, sickness, whatever, cramping real bad. But I ain't fisting to get fucking fly with this dude, because this is that one that I know I'm not going to fuck up.
Yep.
So I think that whole I'm a bitch when I'm on period is a bunch of bullshit.
No,
Because
it's-
you're only a bitch to the dudes that you don't fuck with, that you don't respect.
No, it's a real thing. Because, like she said, waking up angry. I remember one time,
The TV messed up for some reason, Donnie.
I'm
It
dead.
like took the Bluetooth off for some reason. No,
I remember I would wake up and I wouldn't want to talk. Like, I want to sit in silence when I wake up. And he wants to talk. And it's like, I didn't go off on him purposely, but I was just like, sometimes I just like to shut the fuck up. And I want everybody around me to shut the fuck up. Is that wrong? Like, it's not wrong. Like, I don't know. I'm not a woman of many words. It's like, it's a time and place to talk. And you shouldn't just be talking just to talk. So, I don't know. When I'm on my period, that's like a big thing for me. Like, I do not talk. Don't talk to me. I don't, like, yeah. I want to sit in the dark. And I have to drink water. Like, and it's crazy because 2 weeks leading up until my period, I don't really, like, not saying I wouldn't drink water, but I wouldn't drink like 3-4 bottles like I would
Like,
after.
you don't crave it.
Yeah. So, like, when you're on your period, it's like, oh my gosh, I need water because I'm losing all this blood.
How
But,
crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but-
no, that's crazy.
And as far as birth control, a lot of girls are on birth control because their mothers put them on birth
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I know you're sleeping around, so you need to go
No,
take this.
My mom told me, she said, me putting you on birth control is giving you a pass to have sex as a child.
No, my parents.
No, like, seriously, that's all it is. Yeah.
Like, okay,
It's like,
okay,
I know
you
you're
can
going to do it anyways.
So
It's like a lot
No.
of them are just like projecting that they were a little fucking, never mind, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say that.
Yeah,
I was about to say
no,
some
yeah,
fucked up shit.
Seriously.
Yeah, but no, I really think that they're just
Deadass.
projecting what they did in their childhood, and they're
Yes.
like putting that shit on you.
My dad was a lot older when he had me. He was 41 when I was born, so definitely he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was just like, this is who I am, this is how it's gonna be, right? He
Yeah.
married 4 women, right? Like, he's on his 4th wife. Of course, they've been together for a long time and in love now. But I mean, he didn't hold back at all and told me everything that he went through. I didn't even lose my virginity until after I graduated high school. Like, I mean, I was the only female in my class. I think maybe there's one other female. And when they found out, they're like, yep, and you're going to go to the OBGYN, you're going to get on birth control, you're going to get a pregnancy test, and you're going to get an STD test, and you're going to pay for it all. and that's what's gonna happen. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. Like,
it's
this
just
is crazy.
It's like if you
Aye,
start
aye.
having sex, we're gonna make it really, really weird and awkward for you right here at the
Exactly.
start.
Like, you
Why-
got it.
Yeah. Parents definitely dropped the ball on a lot of things over the last or decade. I gotta ask, or not ask. I wanted to bring up really quick like the estrogen thing really quick. So like when y'all are on birth control, since your estrogen levels are higher and you think you're pregnant, you are attracted to the beta guys. When your estrogen's higher, like that's what you want, or like those beta type of dudes. Because when you're pregnant and you're having like a child or something like that, your body is you and your man are both preparing your bodies to want to take care of that child and be good homey people. So like he starts eating more, his testosterone levels go down, his estrogen levels go up. There's certain things that happen in both people whenever a child is coming. Okay, so like whenever all that is happening and she's attracted to that type of guy, that's great. But say you're on birth control and you're with a beta boyfriend and you love him and everything, and then you get off your birth control, you will start noticing you're attracted to a different kind of guy. Oh, this happened to you? Yeah, so when you get off, you're like, fuck, like this guy is so annoying. He's so stupid. Like, this guy is so beta, and like you will hate your man, and it's all because you just got off your birth control. And like most women don't even recognize this, and they end up going to a whole new guy and stuff, and it's all because of the birth control.
I definitely didn't hate him, right? But I definitely was like, this, like, a Snapchat memory popped up like 2 days ago, and it was to my friend, right? And I was like, I opened the dishwasher, and there was dishes in there that were fucking dirty. And then I opened a drawer, and I pick up a dish, and it was dirty. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just bitching, and so it's like eye opener for what you just said on that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hormones are something that we
It's
all
wild.
need to like. There needs to be literally a high school class where we all go over our fucking hormones together and talk all about the like actual sciences. And Marty Hazelton, like the woman who wrote that book, the whole first chapter is her talking about how much the Evo psych, like the evolutionary psychology community, just destroys her and hates her because they're like, you're excusing behaviors, you're doing all this stuff. Like basically everybody in psychology believes in
Donnie.
well, everybody in psychology believes in Blake Slatonism, which means that like everything is the same, like men and women are all the same, and like
Whoa.
our emotions are all the same, and all this stuff, and like we
That's
can
dumb
prescribe the
stuff.
same things to everybody, and they're all going to do the same thing because we're blank slates. We're all the same at a basic mental level, and it's like no, we're actually very different. Like our cells are even different when we're in the womb. Like it's very like when we're just being created, like we're completely two different fucking things, and like
That sounds so stupid, by the way.
yeah, but like she gets she gets so much shit for this, and it's just like this is I would say she's like the only woman, one of the few women in the Evo Psych community who's even talking about this stuff, and it's like she's shamed for just telling the truth about something that would make y'all's lives better. To like understanding your own hormones, like what the fuck?
Well,
like y'all literally are shaming people for like talking about something.
Fuck, look
like,
at Nicholas Tesla. You know what I mean? Like, that's been there forever. People getting shamed ahead of their time.
No, I really hope
sucks.
over the next 5 to 10 years there's going to be a huge change in the evolutionary psychology community, and women can accept that like there's some things that are natural. There is some things that are genetically not determined, but genetically could happen. I wanted to ask, do y'all know what hybristophilia means?
What did you call me?
Do you know what that means?
No.
You know what that means?
I don't. Say it again. Can you sound it out?
Hybristophilia.
I know, but
Can you spit it in a sentence?
It is the phenomenon of an individual being sexually aroused by a criminal offender.
Whoa.
So like this is like
the prison letter writers that end up marrying those guys.
Yeah, or
Yikes.
like even there's certain women that work as prison guards and they end up falling in love with some of the prisoners. Like this is something that's like a very normal thing actually. In probably every prison there's a guard that's falling in love with somebody that's a prisoner.
Yikes.
And yeah, I know. And the reason why it's a really like, and the only thing that makes this such a unique thing is that it's only going one way. There's only women that are hybristophiliacs. There's no men. Men aren't excited about marrying the woman that's a criminal or a felon or something like that. The reason, but like all it shows too is that on a really animal instinct level, not saying all women are, because not all women are hybristophiliacs, but some women are, and the reason why even some women are is because those men have the ability to be dangerous. They might not be dangerous. Yeah.
They need the mental game, right?
Well, no, it's just about being dangerous. There's something about a man being physically dangerous and just, I mean, I would actually say what is like the definition of a masculinity is that a guy that is dangerous but can control it.
Yeah.
Okay? And like, because that's like we are, like we need to be powerful. Like masculinity isn't toxic whenever it's a guy running into a burning building to save your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Masculinity is only toxic, whenever it's certain things. But like, there's a lot of things that are masculine traits and masculine things that we
positive.
need those things in certain times of crises. We need that.
Yeah.
War. All types of stuff like that.
Yeah. Totally fair.
Yeah, it's justified.
Yeah, very fair point.
Justified. But by hybristophilia, it's just because women just want the dangerous guy sometimes. Like, it just goes to show how much y'all really want that sometimes.
Do you have any percentages on that? Because that's interesting to me.
No, I want to do. I should do a whole show on hybristophilia
Yeah.
one day, because that's one of my favorite subjects,
You should
man.
find somebody to come on the show
Oh yeah, like a felon who's had like 8 baby mamas or something.
and then get some women that are that.
Yeah.
No, it's and that's another thing, like when y'all sit there, and this is another reason why some guys will be like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not simping for these women, I'm not doing anything for them, because they'll watch like a story about a woman falling in love with a criminal, or they know of a girl that literally stayed waiting for a guy for 6 years till he got out of prison, and she was loyal to him the whole time. And it's like, the fuck, like I'm not gonna sit here and simp and do all this shit for these ladies when there's women out here that will do this. There's women that are like Bonnie and Clyde for their man like this. Like, that's what, see, my whole job is to teach men how to find relationships like that. But it's hard. It's hard to find a woman who will fully devote themselves to you, because you have to be that. I always say women fall into that role when the guy is in that role. But most guys aren't in that role.
Mhm.
So you have, but like, honestly, if you're that guy, it's easy for you, because every time you get in a relationship, she just does it.
Yeah.
Because she feels naturally safe and like provided for. I would say like your jobs are the things that make y'all mostly masculine. And if you can just
Absolutely.
if you can just put down like the whole boss and like the whole like coming home and I'm paying all the bills and I'm doing all this stuff, you can find like a really good guy today, because y'all are like out earning some of the guys in major cities.
Thank you for saying that, by the way.
Yeah, y'all are. Yeah, women out earn men in most major cities, and y'all graduate at 60% of the rate from college, and men 40. So y'all are definitely doing better. Like over time, it's going to be way better. Like Morgan Stanley spent a ton of money doing a huge study and research to figure out who was going to be the biggest consumers over the next like 10 to 20 years, and their study showed by 2030. The biggest consumers will be 45 and up single women. And like that's like they're putting all their bets on the table for that shit. They're basically
That
probably
makes a lot of sense.
they're probably putting all their money in the Chewy. So
They're divorced and they don't have anybody telling them how to spend their money, and they have the alimony money to spend. It makes sense.
yeah, let me ask really quick, if y'all like, what do y'all think the 1% is more happy about? People being single because they spend more money, or people being in relationships because they spend more money?
The 1%.
The richest people in the world. What do you think they want? Do you think they would want you to be single, or would they want you to be in a relationship? What are they going to make more money off of?
Maybe being single.
Why?
Because when you're single, so we talk about like making money like from just anything, right?
Yeah, everything. Because the 1% definitely be profiting on us on every little thing.
Shit, condoms, Plan Bs, birth controls. Anybody that use any three of those things are single, or they just don't have babies.
But what else happens when you're single compared to when you're in a relationship, you think, more?
You do more drugs, unless you're with somebody that does drugs too. But like, like
drinking,
yeah, stuff like that.
Drugs are bad.
Would you say you live more in the moment?
Yeah.
And would you say living more in the moment is more expensive than living for the future?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I also think that you have to keep up with your looks, right? Because like if you're single, you want to.
Yeah, you got to constantly buy more makeup.
Let them tell it. I do this for myself. No,
right.
Like he said, mate calling. I also think twerking is a form of mate calling.
Bro, I do too.
Right?
No, I every time I see a video of it, all I can think of is just us like in the animal kingdom, like around like an oasis, like all like
behind the tree,
just like
the tree, and I'm over here,
dude, for real. Like I can't.
Like, what?
I instantly, like my brain instantly goes to that thought process.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
That's how it works in the club. You twerk, a guy comes behind you, y'all have sex afterwards. That's a mate call.
Yeah, it is. No. See, that's why. This is why, ladies. If your girl goes to the club without you and she's twerking, she's cheating. All right. She's cheating.
Wait, no, because I just
went to the club last night. She's mate calling.
I went to the club last night.
Yeah, but you.
No,
I was in a relationship last night. Oh, definitely.
So you weren't twerking last night?
It's an evil world we live in.
Yeah, it's an evil world.
No, I wasn't twerking.
You weren't. You lying? Which
I
club were you at?
wasn't. Theory.
Okay, she was definitely twerking.
I wasn't
Oh,
twerking. I
most
swear.
definitely.
Yeah, we know.
Most
We,
I
definitely.
can't
we
tell
know how
you.
Theory
No,
goes
it
down.
wasn't a twerking night.
No, is Sunday lit for Theory? I never go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've never
they
gone.
had
He said
a
it's
little
Sunday.
celebrity there.
Oh, who? Justin? Justin L.A. or what's his name?
La Boy. He
Uh,
said L.A. It's
La
La
Boy.
Boy.
Justin La Boy.
See, I thought you were from the hood.
I'm not from the hood.
You just said
What do I look like?
okay.
I'm from Red Oak. The
No,
fuck?
they had Ari. You know
Bro.
Ari?
Who's? Oh yeah, Ari
light-skinned girl?
Fletcher.
Yeah, her.
Who's she
She was
married
there.
to?
No
She
way.
dates Moneybag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? She was there.
Cool,
Yeah.
bro.
That's actually dope.
No,
No,
that is dope.
I like Moneybag. Like,
Yeah.
I like Moneybag. Wait. Do they live? Wait, where do they live?
I think Atlanta.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, no, I was thinking of somebody else. Like who's a celebrity? There's some celebrity that moved to Dallas recently. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was a rapper.
Shit, I got a question though.
Yeah.
I want to bridge off of that mate calling thing. You know, going to the club, twerking, shit like that. Or do you find other ways that women may call outside of just going to clubs, or maybe even girl
Yeah.
trips? What are other ways that women may call?
Makeup,
Posting
hair,
pictures.
clothes, posting pictures.
What kind of pictures exactly?
I mean, depends on what kind
I
of man you
know,
want.
it depends on what kind of mate they want, definitely.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
yeah, we may call in a lot
So,
of different ways.
I got a question for you,
Okay.
and I'm gonna bring it back to something you said earlier in the show.
Oh my god.
All right. So earlier in the show, you spoke about your current relationship, and you said that you were single. Sergio asked why,
Get
and you
off
said,
of
well,
there.
because he was advertised by a friend that he was single on Instagram in front of 2 million followers. However, would you say that you advertise yourself as a mate calling on your Instagram?
Are you on my Instagram?
Well, I mean, you tell me.
I think that you are.
Well, we can't see
So-
the screen right now. Are you really?
Is he
did you pull it up,
showing
Donnie?
my Instagram?
Oh,
No, I'm not.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he's not.
Donnie?
I'm not. But the question is,
Yes.
let's stop
But
deflecting.
I was advertising for the market that I was in. Wow, that's crazy.
The focus isn't there. Keep going.
Nope.
Y'all could go to the IG if y'all want to.
Don't go to the IG.
Y'all go.
I was advertising myself because I dance in videos, model, little stuff like that. So a rapper, a local rapper, upcoming rapper, he'll see my page and my little 10K, and he'll throw me that $300.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you benefit off the simps though, or the tricks, I should say.
Simps? No, they're artists.
No,
Tricking.
no. Those are
But-
tricks. Guys, please go check out our Instagram. It's Brown and Honey, and I'm looking at it right now, girl. And
The thing is so whenever you're talking about mate calling, like, and you talk about girls that go to a club and twerk, I mean, it's the exact equivalent with
Yeah.
people that post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
What
like,
do you want me to do? You want me to delete everything?
no,
we were talking
that's not
about
the
like
point.
you reap what you sow, though.
Yeah. So, you know, kind of going back to something that you help consult with your friend, you know, like, hey, you put yourself in certain situations because you attract a certain type of man. Would you say that is pretty common for women nowadays? We're gonna get off of you, but would you say this is pretty common for women nowadays? In
It's
general?
definitely common, but a dude he'll shoot a shot at a fucking cup or a fucking roach. So it's like nowadays it really doesn't matter if you have your ass out or if you're fully clothed. Like a dude.
But I just want to ask: do you want to attract a guy that really loves you, really cares about you, really wants to marry you, really wants to have your kids, and like really wants a future with you? Or do you want to attract a guy that says, "Damn, that ass is fat. I can't wait to hit that"?
Definitely number one, but I don't think I would find him on social media.
Well, sadly, like Instagram is like the #1 dating app today. So I'm not even gonna say like it is.
Not for me.
Well, I'm not saying it is for you, but
Okay.
just in general, like if we look at dating apps, stuff like that, like Instagram is the #1 dating app. Like most people, find somebody or meet somebody, or like at least whenever you meet somebody at the club or something, sometimes the first thing you give out
What's your
is
Insta?
what's your Insta.
Yeah.
Sometimes even before a phone number. So that's why
I
it's
would prefer that.
that's why it's the #1
Me too.
dating app today, is because of that. It's not an actual dating app, but technically, if you really want to think about it and like really look at the logistics of it, it is a dating app.
Yeah.
And so, and like I would just heavily, I just can't help but like say this with a lot of emphasis, that if you really change your whole profile and you make yourself look like a whole different person, you're going to attract a whole different type of guy. Like I'm talking like, because like I said, you might meet a guy at the club and he's like, here, let me get your Insta. And as soon as he sees those pictures of your ass, he's gonna be like, okay, she's that type of girl. I'm hollering at her trying to smash. and he's gonna act the whole way. He's gonna lie and say a bunch of shit to make you happy, and then you're gonna smash, and then like he's gonna run away because like the whole time it was a con, you know. And it's just like you're basically just telling con artists, hit me up, bro. Come on, con artist. I love guys like y'all. Come on. And like you're just asking for it, and like, and even if it's not one of them, you're asking for the fucking hyper simps that want a girl like that, which is even worse. Like a super simp who wants a girl that keeps her body out there and all this stuff, who doesn't, you know, like respect herself or respect their relationship. He knows at the end of the day, like even he knows at the end of the day that relationship ain't gonna fucking last. Like those guys, man, like they know, like they're low key so insecure the whole time. Like they'll be like, yeah, baby, you can do that. Yeah, you can go on girls trips with you can go out with your girls. And low key, he's the one that's gonna be the biggest beta, blowing you up all the time. Like, why are you doing this? Yeah. Like, and I'm not sitting here telling guys after a year of being in a relationship with you, telling you like, hey, I don't like your ass pits. I don't like that. Like definitely he just shouldn't date you if he's that type of guy, period. Like my girl just didn't have none of that stuff. So I just wanted a relationship with her, you know? So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's just probably going to make it more like where a guy's like, oh, this girl is a badass and she looks like a wifey material. I'm going to pursue her in a wifey way. Like she's a good girl. I'm going to take her to dinner. I'm not going to expect sex. Like I'm not going to, you know, whereas like if they see all that shit, man, they're going to expect sex.
Yeah. Cause remember I told you my ex, he didn't like all the Instagram shit, but I actually met him at the skating rink. So like you said, when he got my Instagram, it was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know you did all that. What is this? What is that? And it went from that to like, no, you can't wear that. You can't do that. So it's like, it really just depends. Like, I would definitely conform. Like, if I met a guy and, again,
if he's that guy.
Yeah, if he's that guy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even be on Instagram when I'm 30 because once I have my kids and get married, like, that's that. Like,
so that's a good thing I like to kind of ask. Have you, I'll ask both of y'all, have y'all ever been in a relationship where you fully devoted yourself to a guy, where like you were so in love, you're willing to give everything, like doesn't matter, like, you know, just Bonnie and Clyde shit, like fully devoted to this person? Like, have you ever had that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you had that?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time?
Yeah. I love love.
You love love?
Relationships are fun. So,
like, you've never been, like, damaged for one, though, where you were like, I don't want to, like, do that again? Like, I don't want to, like, devote myself like that?
No, because when you're on a journey of, like, being conscious, you realize that, like, relationships are just, and relationships are just that. Like, they're relationships. They're supposed to be fun. Like, you're supposed to enjoy the ups and the downs, everything. Like, because we're all God experiencing itself in the physical form.
So like you always go, so because like I'm leaning that into like they're in a relationship, or like when you're trying to get a relationship with somebody, there's always one person going into another person's frame. Okay, would you say you're always going into guys' frames, or would you say has there ever been a relationship where he was coming into your rules, into your frame?
I'm in a relationship now where, well, with the petty boy, he's definitely coming into my frame.
Really?
Yeah. But
I don't know. It sounds like he's kind of winning the game right now.
He's not running shit. He's definitely in my frame.
Yeah, that's cope right there.
I think he's watching right now too. So.
Yeah, you coping right now because he's definitely ruling. If he's out doing, if he's out there having fun and going on tour and like doing what he wants and stuff.
Because I want to do that too, but I have a job. You know, like I'm trying to shift from being, like he said, regular to like doing music and doing what I want to do. But like it's hard switching from like a decent human of society and trying to like go and like
become a degenerate.
Yeah, or some form of one. Yeah. But I don't know. He's definitely not running shit though. It's just different because before, like you said, you would conform and like, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. But it's like now.
Well, you said that you have that now. Like, so you in previous relationships, you have gone into other guys' frames.
Yeah, which is.
And why don't you still do that?
Molding myself into what they want.
Yes, going into, because every relationship is like this. I don't care whose relationship you're in. Like every relationship, there's one person leading it more. Mm-hmm. There's one person usually that is pursuing the other and like going into their rules and their boundaries. And so you would say that you enjoy your guy right now coming into your boundaries.
Yes.
And you like that.
Yeah. But I'm not one of those. No, I'm not an alpha female. I don't do none of that.
I know you're not alpha female. There's no such thing as one.
Well, you know, to some women there is, but I'm not one of those. It's basically like
nice.
I lead in a different way. Like he leads in his own way, I lead in my own way. Like whatever he lacks, I pick up. So like if I'm more emotionally mature and secure and like I really know what the fuck's going on up here, like he allows me to do that. He allows me to tell him when he's wrong because it's not coming from the ego. Like, and I'm not trying to kill his ego. It's not like, oh, you a bitch ass nigga and you're dumb and you're stupid. It's like, no, like, okay, it's stemming from this and you should change and do this better. You should communicate like this because, stuff like that. So I definitely lead in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it.
Just that. Okay. What about you? Have you been, so like the relationship that you've been in, did you go into his frame or did he go into yours?
I went into his frame on that one for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So like the reason why I'm asking this is because like you really need to kind of like put that down and always go into the guy's frame and like go into their boundaries, because I really don't think that you respect a guy whenever it's the other way around. Like one of my biggest things that I preach on this channel is there's like a trauma cycle that most women are on. And it's usually because you give your full devotion to somebody in the first or second relationship, third, whatever it is. And like, you're like, I gave so much, that shit hurt. I'm not going to sit there and do that again because these guys don't deserve it. Every guy after this, he's coming into my boundaries, into my frame, my rules, my house, my shit. That's usually the women that have, like their own cribs and the guys moving in with them, and they're comfortable with that shit.
Right.
Like, which is fucking weird as fuck for most people. And it's just like, and usually like those type of like trauma cycles, they end whenever you stop or when you can finally trust a guy and give yourself fully devotion to that person again. And it all comes from just trauma. It's just like scared that you're going to get hurt again. And like, if you keep going into relationships with that fear, it makes it to where it's really hard for you to just be in a good relationship, because those relationships where he's actually in your frame, they never work. Like, either you're going to cheat on him or he's going to cheat on you.
Or maybe not even end up in cheating. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's kind of just, but so the reason why 9 times out of 10 it ends up being cheating is because the two people are codependent.
The last relationship I was in, that long one that was, a decent relationship, he definitely came into my frame. There was, I guess he did cheat on me, but that's not what ended the relationship.
Yeah, usually those people are extremely codependent, and it's not, and the reason why, like, the respect is fucked up in those boundaries. So like the guy is super pissed off because he's always disrespected, and he's going to end up cheating or seeking something else because he hates the relationship dynamic being that way. And then the woman, she's going to probably end up, if she doesn't do it, she wants to, or she's pissed off all the time. She's always tired of being with the guy who's like under her. Her hypergamy is constantly wanting to kick in and go to something better. So like, because of that, it's just toxic for the both of them. Yeah. Like, you should just I never think that a relationship should ever be the woman and the guy's frame ever. And it all goes back to responsibility.
It's a difference between like being in a man's frame and like being a dumb bitch. It's like, don't be a dumb bitch. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's like, no, like, you don't always, it's not always, you don't always have to do that. I think it's more so like knowing what you want. Cause like, I know what I want. I purposely structured my life and didn't have any kids and did all that because I know the type of man that I want to attract and shit like that. So it's like, at the end of the day, it comes a point in time where it's like, I know what I want. I'm an individual. I really don't have to do shit. Not on no ego shit. Not on no like nothing. But like, technically, like, realistically, I don't have to do anything. So it's like, you're coming into my frame because you're going to have to ask me to marry you. You know what I'm saying? But
so you're the prize?
It's starting off, you don't ever just start a relationship like that. Like, that's how bitches do end up with babies. And that's how they do end up with multiple baby daddies, because it's like every dude that you get with, you're in his frame, and you never just think like, damn, like, let me take a step back. And, so for me, I can't just... It would take at least a year. Like, we're working on that. Like, we're hitting the year, and once I see like, oh, okay, whatever, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can be the soft, feminine woman that I'm supposed to be. But like, until then, no, I definitely have to,
but so like, the reason why you have to do that though is your own fault. Like, it's your own traumas. Like, it's your own.
I don't have trauma.
But like, no, but like, you gotta understand, just sleeping around can be trauma for a woman. Like, there's something called mate guarding that guys have to do for women. Like, I do this for my daughter. All men have to mate guard women, because if you get raped, if something bad happens to you sexually, especially at a young age, it can make you hypersexual.
Yeah, of course.
It can cause all
Most
types
of
of
the
issues.
Prostitutes and homosexuals.
Come from something like that. Yeah, come from some type of child abuse or something.
I'm very self-aware. Like, I'm not saying I'm 100% healed, but like, I'm at least 90. Yeah,
and so I'm not saying, like, all I'm trying to explain to you is that, like, when you have these boundaries up, you're going to end up with a certain type of person that you're just not going to want. Either you didn't really want them, or it's just not real. The biggest thing is that for love to work, for devotion to work, for the cycle of a relationship to work, it's based off of respect and love. And this is the biggest issue today, is that when women get into relationships, you have all these boundaries up, and it's never going to work that way. You end up with the wrong people, and those boundaries is what keeps you from finding the right person. And like whenever you go into a guy's boundaries, you like it shows that you truly respect him, and respect is love to a man. Okay,
Even if I'm unhappy.
If you're unhappy, that's because of your own traumas. This is the issue today, is that like most women can't understand that the reason why you have so many boundaries, the reason why you have so many walls up, is because of shit that you've gone through. Like, I'm sorry that the men from your past, and here's the thing, I'm not blaming you at all for your choices, because this is the problem today. A lot of women are sometimes like, oh, well, yeah, like I chose those guys, but I was young and I didn't know. There's a reason why for thousands of years your father, your brother, your uncle was there to help you discern. It's only been in the last 100 years where women are picking their own guys.
Yeah.
Okay? 100 years. And we've been around for 300,000, 1.1 million for Homo erectus. We've been around for a minute, like hardwired to do things a certain way to make it safest for us. And like, y'all don't, women fall in love with their ears, and men fall in love with their eyes. That's why women wear makeup and men lie. So like, we are always going to tell y'all lies to get sex. Like, we're always going to do that. We're animals. That's just what we're going to do. So like, if you had a guy though, if you had a father, if you had anybody when you were young to teach you how to discern, or to make sure that that guy was the perfect guy for you, then you would have given that perfect devotion to the right man, and you would have never gotten into the situation where you have boundaries, and now you have walls up for all these new guys. This is so like, it's not blaming the women or anything. It's honestly blaming the men. Like, if men were around to be able to help you discern like they needed to back then, you would have never had these boundaries and these walls up right now.
Yeah.
You would have been a whole different person. And like, this is just something that every woman is going through. I'm telling you. And me, like, that whole thing that I brought up, this all comes from Stefan Speaks. He's the biggest speaker in especially in the minority culture. Like, he's written like 6 books on this type of stuff for women. He literally writes book for minority, for black women, on how to heal your traumas and how to get through relationships stuff. His biggest shit is getting through traumas. And I'm reading all of his stuff because I'm trying to teach the same women how to get through their traumas. And this is the number one cycle that they're all on. And like, here's the thing. I would say that most guys, you can't walk into their frame today. Like, most guys are not those guys, that guy and stuff like that. It's just, the biggest thing is that when you can discern it, you need to know to let yourself go. When you do find that guy, because he's not going to want to be with you, or he's going to pass on you, or whatever it is, because you're putting off this energy that is just so fucking nasty to him. And that's the problem with it. It has nothing to do with like
being heard.
Yeah,
or like any of that.
It's just about how you portray yourself. It's like what we always keep talking about, like, you reap what you sow. And I want you to leave this place with a whole different persona, acting a whole different way, because then you're going to reap a whole different thing. You're gonna have the greatest fruits ever.
I'm gonna take your advice about the Instagram thing. Definitely.
Yeah, think about it.
Gonna do a little revamp.
I've been mentoring women. I opened my mentorship up to women. I've only done guys for the past few months, but I opened up to women. The first things I've been teaching some of the women is just the Instagram things, to see if it would change anything. They're all getting hit up by completely different guys now. It was one of those things that instantly changed their life. Instantly. Insta. Yeah, literally. Insta. But so, like, I definitely think that that's one of our biggest issues today, is like the Instagram and like the girls trips and going to clubs and stuff. I'm not telling women to stop doing all those things. I'm saying, if you meet the right guy, stop doing those fucking things. And I know that your percentage chance of meeting the right guy is low as hell. So I'm really not asking for much, because most of y'all ain't going to find it. Or if you, I'm just kidding. But if I do, you got maybe a year or two of partying and fun. Like, so go have your fun. Go to the club. Go get all that shit out of your fucking system. And when you find a really good guy, fucking be a really good woman to him. And like, put all that, if your homegirls are like, oh, you're not coming to the club with them anymore, bitch, y'all are single. Go have fun. Be like, I'm not single no more,
Or you can come to the club with me.
Yeah, you can have a guy that comes with you.
I like this boyfriend because I feel free. Like, for the first time,
he lets you do whatever you want.
Not even whatever. It's just, he doesn't judge me, and we like the same things. So it's like, I don't have to hide. Like, my ex, I would have to hide that I'm smoking, or that I'm smoking with my friends, or it's like, get a job. But is your
guy high status right now? Like, would you consider him like medium to high status? Because he's trying, he's on tour, he's trying.
My guy right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're saying, you know, he's so chill and all that. I would say, any guy,
because
any guy with
he wants me
status.
to be chill because he's doing the same thing that I'm doing or trying to do.
Well, it's not even that. It's just the fact. I'm telling you, like guys who have. Does he have options? Would you say that women chase him?
Yeah, he has bitches in his DMs.
Okay. So he now, like we were saying earlier, 130 guys are virgins and or having had sex in last year that are 18 and 30. Okay, and if we look at like other studies, like there's 4.5% of guys that get a lot of girls. Okay, like most of them, and then there's like the top 20% are doing good, and then it's like under that is where it gets like really bad. He's probably in the top 20 or the top 4.5 of like one of those two demographics. And like the thing is, if I was a guy in that top 4.5% and I had options throwing themselves at me all the time, I would not give a fuck about anything at all. You could post bikini pictures. You could go to the club every night. Trust me, I'm not even one of those top 4.5% guys. But when I was single, I still had a pretty easy time compared to most guys. And trust me, if I was dating certain girls, yeah, I didn't give a shit what they did, like at all, because they were just like somebody that I slept with. Like it wasn't anything, it was nothing special. Like, and did some of those girls like kind of act like I might be relationships with them in a few months? Yeah, but it was because they just kept coming back. Like, and I was gonna, like, they were hot, so I was gonna keep saying whatever kind of kept them coming back. So like you got to be careful because guys can really easily get you dickmatized or love bomb, breadcrumb. Like there's a lot of strategies that we can do to keep you really invested while we're like 10% invested, you know? And like and I'm just gonna be honest with you, just like how I tell the girls that are with guys that are basketball players or whatever the fuck. You really expect those people to be loyal to you? Like it's goofy, and then also it's just goofy to sit there and expect them to like, I don't know, like treat you special or something because you're not special whenever there's a bunch of other women too. Like you might be special if you did a bunch of shit that all these other women could never do, like cooking and cleaning and like doing all types of value other than your vagina because every other girl's just throwing their vagina. I'm just saying.
I hate the way you say vagina.
Vagina.
And then what did he say earlier?
Vagine. Right.
Sperm exploded inside of her vagina.
Gross.
Like what kind of graphic
does that
shit
word,
was that?
Does the word just like bother you? Vagine? I'll say vagine for the rest of the
vagina.
show.
It's just how hard you say it.
Vagina.
Hard G.
Hang like sleeve of wizard.
Yes.
Oh god.
What the hell was that?
Have you? So yeah. Do you know what a wizard sleeve is?
Oh no, not again.
No.
Do you know what
Arby's.
Roast beef.
roast beef is? Yeah, Arby's roast beef is.
I guess yeah.
In relations to a woman's vagine.
Yeah, they say that about black women's vagina, but I can assure you that mine does not look like roast beef.
Wait. I've never heard anybody
Neither
say
have
that
I.
that's a black woman thing. Is that true, Donnie?
I've never heard that in my life.
I have
never heard
never
that
heard
either.
Sometimes, yeah, when they be trying to talk shit and all that, like they be like, I don't want no roast beef. I want some.
It's
They
definitely
say
not
that. I get
racial.
that comment as well. So,
It's definitely not
like,
racial. I've
people
seen
say that
every
to
color
every
of the
woman.
rainbow
I don't know,
with
because
that
you know
shit.
you have like Twitter and you got Black Twitter, you got Facebook, you got Black Facebook. So it's like I'm on Black Twitter and Black Facebook, and that's the type of shit that they say. They want uncooked chicken.
That's the type
They
of shit
want
they
the
say.
pink. They want pink pussies and stuff like that. They don't want no roast beef. There's nothing wrong with roast beef.
No, so like I like to say that like women who have that, you know, like they can't control it. You know, it's like usually just genetic, and they just end up with that. And it's like it's the
Are you
same.
talking about the dangly thing?
Well, just having lips, just having like, you know, like I mean,
He said,
come on, you know, just like
And not everybody has lips.
you know, like
Well,
Some
reclaim
girls'
them.
coochies are just like you know.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like those girls that do have lips, though, it's like not their fault. Like what I'm saying is it's just the genetic. Like, do you really think these girls are loose because they be sleeping around a bunch?
Who said that?
Well, just your facial. That's what most people assume, and you're looking at me like you're one of those people.
Some of them it's genetic. Some of them pull on their thing.
So that's dude.
Have
I
you
have
heard of
actually yes, I have. So that
Whoa.
is a thing, right? That is a thing. Like
I'm not
I've
gonna
heard a
lie.
woman tell me that she did it when she was asleep. Like it was something that like she would
Like
wake
she would
up,
just
like she
pull
would just
her
be
lip.
like sleeping and just doing it. Yeah, and it's like,
Wow.
do you realize what you're doing? Like,
Wild.
And that stems from childhood too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah,
See,
some people pull their lips. Some of them are
That's-
hoes, and some is genetic. It just depends.
well, I like to hope that it's mostly genetic because like guys get shamed for having a small, you know, a small dick. So it's like. I just think that if we're going to shame, because a lot of women like on Twitter, every online space, it's like, oh, like if they don't like a response, like, all right, small dick, fuck you. And so it's like, I just really think that guys need to get more reactive to that. And it's like, okay, wizard sleeve, Okay,
Right.
roast beef. Like, we can say the same thing back. Like, because the thing is, both of those people were in a genetic situation that they couldn't really control, unless they, like, I guess, did what you're saying. But for the most part, like, the guy with the small dick, it's not his fault. He literally lost the genetic lottery. Sorry, buddy. And then, like, that girl, she kind of was in the same spot. Like, so I feel bad for, like, I don't know, if we're gonna shame that loser, I'm gonna shame her too. Like,
Right.
they're both
That's
they're
facts.
both the same in my eyes. Like, I don't know, and it's equally.
There's your blank slate, motherfucker.
Yeah, I try to find, if there's anything I do try to find on this show, like, I hate the red pill space so much because it's all men sometimes, and like sometimes they gatekeep this shit and they're like, women can't learn this and all this stuff. And it's like, if there's one thing that I just like finding the opposite to certain things. It's like, okay, red pill guys, y'all love to say that guys who have options should be able to exercise them and fuck multiple girls. Like, you can't control the basketball player, you can't control the millionaire, exercising options, and I agree with them. Like, that's true. But we have to look at the other side. We can't control hypergamy either. Stop getting mad at the women for wanting a guy who makes more money than them. That's something that they're hardwired into. So if y'all want to complain about that, don't complain about this one. Like, to me, I want to find the opposites of everything in the space. Then every time I bring up one, I can bring up the other. And that's what makes it fair.
This Asian guy at the club 2 nights ago, he snorted coke in front of me. But he said some shit that made he said some shit that made sense. He was basically just like, pussy and money runs the world, right? Maybe not. Hypothetically speaking, pussy and money runs the world. And he was just like, women are so powerful. All y'all have to do is just come together. And if you want to see change, like, basically, if we want men to stop being broke, then stop having sex with broke men. We all come together collectively and stop giving the pussy up to broke men. That's going to make these broke men get up because they want pussy, right? They're going to get up and they're going to go get jobs. And if we can do that with politics and just anything, bro, like, literally the world could change because it's driven by vagina.
It's so funny that you said that. So, like, you said this was at the club?
Yes, it was an Asian guy.
This Asian guy watches my show, guys. He must. No, because, like, the biggest thing I always talk about, like one of my biggest stories I like to talk about is, like, the story of Adam and Eve. And, like, I truly believe these fucking Jewish people back in the day had it down. Like, they were basically like, how are humans? Like, how are we hardwired? Like what makes us better and stuff? And they learned very quickly. The way that we make society better is women not sleeping around. They understood very quickly. Okay, and they made a whole story that is based around women. Like, let's make a whole story about a snake, and if she goes and bites this apple and she falls to the temptation of what the snake is telling her to do, and she bites the apple, then the man comes and bites the apple too, and then they're both gonna fall out of discord with nature, and they both are now sin. And, like, this whole point of this story, why did the woman bite the apple first? Why? And why did he follow her and do the same thing? The whole point of that story was that Adam was supposed to lead. He was supposed to tell her. He was supposed to watch over her and make sure she didn't do that. He didn't. He wasn't a masculine man. He didn't hold frame. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. And then what did she do? She went and fell to temptation, which our animal desires are always going to do. You're always, as we've learned from nature and evolutionary psychology, we understand by y'all's animal nature, you can fall to want to have sex with a guy just based off of what he says or how he looks, the 1.75 to hip ratio, like or the smell, all those things. So we know that y'all can fall to this hedonistic desires. And what happens if a guy falls to his hedonistic desires? It doesn't fuck anything up. But what the woman does, it's just like what he said. Because if y'all keep your legs closed, Tyrone and Chad and Ray and fucking Edgar, they all have to go get a fucking job. They can't stay at their mom's house on the couch no more. And so, yeah, it really does all come down to the women, but we can't convince every woman to keep her fucking legs closed, sadly. It's impossible to convince every single one of them. But the thing is, we can get the percentages down. Like, I would say, like, right now, like, say there's like a relationship group and like a hoe group in the US. All right. I would say the hoe group is like 20 to 30% right now. Like, there's a good amount of hoes, and they're
50.
I think it's higher too.
No, so
everybody wants to be a hoe.
So I think it's only 20. So this is what happens. This is the cycle that most people go through. You're a good person in high school, whatever. You get into your first couple of relationships, and you only have less than 5 body count, or you have less than 2 or 3 or something like that. You're a relationship person. You want relationships, okay? That first one ends, whatever. You get out, and when we get out and we look at the pool of single people, usually we're looking at the hoes. Like, the guys, like, say I get our relationship at 21 years old. I'm going to be looking at all the single girls, and most of those women are serial single. They've been single for years, and they're going to stay single. They are hoes. They're the type of girls where they like being single. They're independent women or whatever the fuck it is about them, and they're stuck in that hoe bracket. And so sometimes you get out and you fuck one of those girls, and you're like, fuck, all these girls are hoes, man. This girl fucking literally pumped and dumped me and then ghosted me the next day. Like, what the fuck? These hoes, man. And like you assume they're all like that. It's like, no, you went and you became single, and the people that are out there the most, the people that are on dating apps, the people that are like, really seeking sex, those are the hoe people. So you end up and it's the same for the women. Y'all get out of a relationship and y'all go, the first guy y'all encounter is one of those hoe guys.
Yeah,
and then
we get out of a relationship and post the ass picture and be like, I'm single, and then
mate calling.
Yeah,
you got to do your little mate call.
Thanks.
But yeah, it's a really easy cycle that we're all on, and like the problem is like, and I also would argue that a lot of those single people have cluster B disorders. Like they also like have like some type of disorder where they're harder to be in relationships with. There's a lot of things going on in their own mind that makes it to where they're stuck in that bubble, and like that's the whole toxic cycle of like hurt people because like you might be really good in your first relationship, it ends, but then you go and you date one of those fucking fucked up people, and then you're fucked up in the head because you learned you got cheated on or they abused you or something like that, and next thing you know, you go on that cycle and you do that to other people for the rest of your life. I think everybody's on these fucking cycles right now.
Yeah. And
it all starts with hedonism. It all starts with sleeping around, and if you just stop sleeping around, then you're fine. But sorry, women.
I realized that. I was like, so this is why God said no sex before marriage, because STDs, because of all these things, all these soul ties. Now you're getting your ass beat by Ray Ray, and it's just it's a lot. It really is.
Imagine if you were a guy that was 5'8", you had a good $50K a year job, like you're an HVAC technician or something like that. You're normal in every aspect, like, and you just can't get a girl at all. Like, there's no girls even giving you any time of day, and it's because you're just a normal guy. Like, most normal guys just aren't seeked. Like, you just don't want a guy who makes normal pay and like is normal height and doesn't do like cool things.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic. It's the, like you said earlier, Instagram. Everybody wants the roses, and they want to be on the beach, and they want to take pictures and all that, but y'all don't know what the fuck goes on behind closed doors.
I gotta ask something really quick. If you had to rank a guy, this is just a theory that I have. If you had to rank a guy based off of him being attractive, just mentally, okay, what's more, like, what number would you give a guy who's a full entrepreneur? Like, he's a full entrepreneur. He fully has all of his time bought back. He has multiple businesses, but he's able to do whatever y'all want whenever y'all want. Maybe y'all can't vacation all the time and y'all don't go out all the time because he kind of is like, he does own multiple businesses, so he kind of is working a lot. But for the most part, y'all get to sleep with each other tonight. Y'all get to every morning y'all wake up and have breakfast. Y'all get to spend a lot of time together. Okay, just like 10,000 years ago when we were living on the plains of Oklahoma or something. Where would you rank that guy compared to a guy who works a 9 to 5 and can constantly lose his job, constantly he can be fired, like constantly at the risk of always having to look up to another? There's always somebody above him that he needs to rely on basically for certain things. How do you rank those guys 1 to 10 for desire to be in a relationship with?
I mean, the guy that has more control over his time is definitely going to be more desired in my
But what
eyes.
number would he be in 1 to 10?
I mean, like definitely closer to the 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And then the guy though with the 9 to 5 job, where do you rank him compared to him?
I mean, he's not going to be like all the way down at a 1 by any means, but I wouldn't be able to do a full 10.
Is he half the value? Is he a 5 or a 6 compared to him?
I was thinking 6, 7.
6, 7. What do you think?
But I don't know. Like, he's still trying,
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. I don't think anybody has more value than anybody. We're literally all the same.
I'm just wondering, like, if you had to choose, like, say you had 2 perfect men, and you're going to your girlfriend, and you're like, girl, I love both of these guys so much, I can't choose. Like,
financial stability.
It would just depend on their mental. Like, throw something mental in there. Like,
that's why I'm saying this guy has to be on a completely. The entrepreneur is on a completely different mental level. Completely different
like,
for him.
He emotionally,
for him to be
like Like, is he
Like, we're talking
emotionally
about the 9 to
there?
5 guy is an NPC guy. This is a normal dude that's going to come home. Y'all going to watch TV together. Y'all going to live a completely normal life, just like our grandparents and our parents and everybody out throughout history. The entrepreneur has a mindset of a top 10%, top 5% guy. Entrepreneur, always gritting, always going for more, always the go-getter type of person.
Mhm.
So they're two completely different people.
dudes, yeah.
Like, how do you rank those two different things?
Well, yeah, the entrepreneur would definitely be like a 9 or a 10. And then the 9 to 5er, he'll just be like a little bit below him.
Like a 5, probably 4 or 5.
He could be a 6.
A 6. Okay. I just have a theory that, like, I really believe that, like, women really respect men that have that type of power. Like a guy who's like a guy, like I have a friend, shout out to Hector, and he does he just does every type of construction. It doesn't matter what it is. He can fix cars. He can do anything. But like right now, he works for a rental property owner, and he does all their maintenance work. He's just like the maintenance guy, you know. But that type of person, because he can fix anything. Because he's so, like, even though he might have a 9 to 5, technically he could go fucking anywhere and he could work for himself. He's that type of person where he has a lot of value.
Yeah.
Where, like, I just feel like those people are put up, or like I like even say drug dealers, okay, guys who have all their time back because they can flip some packs and they make enough money off that where they can have all their time. I think girls will constantly choose these type of guys, gardeners, people who can make money off of food, growing things outside, you know, building stuff with their hands, you know, craftsmen, people who build tables or anything like that. I think that just those type of things are just way more attractive than a 9 to 5 guy that constantly could lose what he has. Like, because that's a fear factor. Like, you have to, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, you're fearing every day while y'all are married and stuff, like, oh, I hope he doesn't lose his job. I'm not saying that at all. But in the back of your mind, I think there's a subliminal thing that, like, women know this guy is way more safe because, like the entrepreneur or whatever, because he fully has his time back.
Yeah,
He's not relying on a boss or an owner to write his check. Like, there's something special about that. And I just think a lot of women don't want to be with the normies anymore. They don't want to be with the NPC. Like, they really hate the thought of being with a 9 to 5 guy.
I don't know. From personal experience, like, my ex was a 9 to 5er. Like, he drives trucks. He worked for Walmart. This dude, he's an entrepreneur. But not gonna lie, I definitely felt more secure with my ex, the 9 to 5er, because the money was constant. He doesn't have to wish on a prayer, you know. He doesn't have to go and hustle, like. And also, guys that have jobs or guys that are like more into society, they know how to do things. Like, not saying my current dude doesn't know how to do things. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. I don't know.
Been with them for
I don't know what yet. But my ex was a handy man. Like you said, could fix anything. He owned hella guns, hella cars, just off of a job, you know?
Yeah.
He could come in right now and see that your door is broken, and he'll fix that bitch.
Yeah, no.
And it'd be shit like that. Like,
well, I consider that guy an entrepreneur. Like those, like, he may not be an entrepreneur because he has check, but that guy can go get a fucking job anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So he has leverage, basically, is what
but guys
basically,
these
like,
days
that's
don't
the
know how
easiest way to
do
put it.
anything. Like, guys these days,
but that's what I'm trying to say is, like, y'all really like the guys with leverage in their life. Like, life leverage, where, like, you can make decisions and you can do things that you want to do, because there's a lot of guys that are so broke or they're so normie or whatever, they don't have no control over their lives. Their boss controls it, or like they just don't get to do anything that, like, the fun people get to go do, you know, like, they don't make the big money to, like, go do the fun stuff, I guess you could say.
And that's why I say stay off Instagram, because you wouldn't know what
The
they're
FOMO?
doing over there. Yeah, you wouldn't know. You would be very happy with your regular boyfriend if you wasn't looking at Ray Ray and his bitch out in Jamaica. So stay off of Instagram. Everybody's life is not your life. And that's the thing too. Everybody is like my homegirl says, everybody's not meant to be rich. There's supposed to be a crackhead under the bridge. There's supposed to be poor people. There's supposed to be,
there's a
you know,
numbers.
like, but everybody's trying to just be this one thing, and it's just not working. Like, everybody can't have that life. Everybody can't be that girl. Everybody can't be that guy. Like,
that's what makes the race so much fun, though.
Yeah. Especially on the outside looking in, like, when you, it
makes it really fun when you see, because it's like the podcasting world. When I got into this, like, if you look at studies, if you make it past episode 20, you're in, like, the top 1% of podcasters, because most podcasts end after 20 like, most people give up.
Mm.
They fail, just like business and whatever, you know. I'm at like we're at like 100 and some, or 90 something right now. But it just goes to show though, like, to be successful though really isn't that hard. Like, I have to teach guys all the time because they're like complaining, they're like, oh, it's so hard and stuff. It's like, guys, most guys ain't shit today. It's actually really easy to do better than everyone else because you just have to do a few bare minimum things every day that most people aren't doing. Those bare minimum things, go to the gym, you know, just like stupid little things easily make you above the rest. Whenever we have a 75% overweight, you know, you know, in America is like 60% obese, you know, like it's really easy to be above average today. Not
Yeah.
financially though. And like, well, I think it is financially if you're smart, but most people aren't smart enough to figure out how to use stuff right now, like AI and like all the different ways to make money. Like, I don't think most people are like actually um driven, because like, would you be driven to want to make more money if your dollar was getting less valued every day? Like, most people in the hustle culture are giving up really quickly after trying to do hustle culture because they're like, fuck, this isn't worth it. Like, I can't make anything. Like, I don't know. Like I'm surprised that you even have a guy that's able to go on tour right now, because like, yeah, it's hard as fuck to do any type of hustle or anything that's like an entrepreneurial gig, I guess you could say.
Definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, props to him, honestly. And you're trying to do the same thing you said?
Trying, but I'm gonna keep my old reliable, my old faithful job because it hasn't strayed me once. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still finding out what I want, and I know what makes me happy because I'm spoiled. I'm an only child. Yeah, the whole nine, all of that.
That explains a lot.
Um,
I'm just fucking with you.
I got my first job in my like mid-20s, like maybe like 2 years
Oh,
ago.
you're spoiled as fuck.
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
I wasn't born, or I didn't learn the work ethic until, like I told you, my ex, he had to be like, get a job and do this. But it's like, we're not building towards anything. We're not trying to get a house. We're not trying to get a family. And you don't really just fund my life. So I don't see with me not having a job. If anything, you're a hater. And you're mad because I can just sit on my ass and not do anything.
Your parents
But
spoiled the fuck out of you. That's bad.
I'm trying to get out of it now. And they're telling me, like, I'm not going to get shit. Like, I'm not going to inherit anything. But I know I am. But I know they're just trying to tell me that to, I don't know, give me a kick. But I don't want to work, bro. Like, I want to do something.
I'm gonna tell you something as somebody that comes from a very, very wealthy family,
Okay.
and like, I don't give a fuck about my inheritance. I actually told them to fuck off about it. Okay, so like, but the thing is, you need to have that mentality of like, I don't like that shit is so stagnant. Like, that shit will make you so like just a loser and just not even like focus on what you really need to focus on. Because I have a cousin that did this shit, that literally was just waiting for like our family to just like die off or like to
Yeah.
get money and stuff, and he became the biggest fucking like loser you could
I'm a
ever
loser.
imagine.
That's what
I'm not saying that you're a loser.
I'm
just
telling
saying
you that I'm a loser and I'm trying to get out of it.
I just know a lot of people who have that mentality where like they're just kind of waiting for something like that, and it's just like, it's just the worst mentality you can have for yourself, because you need to be getting out there and getting it. Like, you need to be getting out there and like trying to find like a really good guy to like partner up with for the rest of it. You're at a really good age right now and you got a good job and stuff. You could definitely find a really amazing guy if you just stop wasting your time. Just so like, I would honestly just stop wasting your time. And like, if your parents are spoiling you doing all that, they're telling you the right thing by telling you that you need to start doing stuff and shit. Like, they're just being really good parents. And like, if they're telling you you're not gonna get parents, even if they're lying, just believe it. Like, convince yourself that they're telling you the truth right now, because it's gonna kick you in the ass and make you do way more. Like, there was no better feeling than whenever I when I was very young and I just told my family, like, fuck off. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to do anything y'all want me to do. I don't care about the fucking money. Like, I don't care. Like, there was nothing more freeing in my life than taking control and power of my entire life at 18 years old and being able to just do whatever the fuck I wanted. And like, the thing, I'm not saying that your parents hold anything over your head or they like make you do anything or anything like that, but there's a lot of freedom that comes with you taking, full control of your own life. And like,
Yeah.
I really believe that like, there's certain like people like you or people like me that grow up in families where we have stuff like that backbone, I guess, or something like that. We actually do the best when we throw ourselves into the trenches, because if you did that, if you threw yourself into a hard situation and you had to work your way out of it, you had to figure it out, you will do whatever it takes to get back up to the lifestyle that you had with your parents. And that's the reason why I push as hard as I can, because I still to this day don't have what my parents had. And I have to work my ass off to get up to the point for me to even have what they barely had to work for. So like, and I'm proud of that. I love it. It's the greatest thing they could have ever done to me. The grit I have compared to my peers, it's unfathomable to most people. And I love that. So like I just highly suggest throwing yourself into the lion's den, throwing yourself into the trenches. Don't let your parents take care of you forever, because you're gonna have a better. I swear to God, you're gonna have a better life for it. Stress creates diamonds. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't go through trauma and don't go through a bunch of bad shit, like living with a bunch of bad guys or anything like that. But definitely put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, because that's when you find out who you truly are. You don't find it out when you're living in privilege.
I needed that though because I play it safe with everything. Like I always say, this is my quote. Well, I'm sure it's somebody else's quote, but I live by it. You can't fail if you don't try.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not try, but I'm getting out of that for real. Like it's yeah, cause
Yeah,
it's time.
so,
I'm about
like-
to be 30, so
Yeah, so failure is my favorite thing in the world. I actually am obsessed with failure. I teach how to fail. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world to do, because I failed at multiple businesses. I've done a lot of failure. I did every bad thing you can imagine, parenting wise, financially, physically. Like, I got in a car wreck and almost died from drinking and driving. Like, I've done everything bad you can imagine, and I'm still going. And like the biggest thing that's like crazy is that every one of those failures was a new chapter. Like, that's where the chapter ended, was every one of those failures, and the new chapter that started was a whole new world for me, and a whole new life for me. So like, don't be scared of failures. That just means a chapter ended and you're starting a next chapter. It's always the best part, honestly. But yeah, let's get to the end of the show. I just want to ask really quick, um is there anything that was said on the show that you liked, or any questions for like dating or anything like that?
I don't have any questions or anything like that, and I always enjoyed, your kind of perspective on that. I don't necessarily have anything pinpointed, but I
No.
think you could tell whenever I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no,
okay."
no. I appreciate you every time when you come. I just really hope that like next time when you come, I really want to talk about like the guys, because every time what happens is y'all come back, the girls come back and they tell me about the guys they're talking to or something like that. And it's like, how can we filter for better guys? Like, that's my new thing that I'm thinking about, is how can I get y'all to filter for better men? Whether that's possibly going to some networking events this year, or some charity events. There's going to be a lot of political events coming up over the next few months. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to make a group chat for the girls probably over the next week or two, and I'll probably start doing that just so we can announce when there's charity events, when there's networking events, so y'all can go meet better.
It's a
I'm
pretty
trying to
cool
figure
idea.
out. I'm trying to figure out how y'all can just filter for better quality, because it looks like there's just a huge quality filter issue right now. Like, where it's just the quality of men are just all kind of bad. But obviously, if you're doing your Instagram right and you're not using dating apps like I always say, and you're only meeting guys in real life or through friends and stuff like that, and they're still low quality, it's like we need to find the better place to go, which is the events that I need to take y'all to. So that's what we'll probably be focusing on over the next year, hopefully.
Cool idea, actually.
Oh yeah, it's
Pretty
already
brilliant.
it's already been the plan. We've already done it with some girls too. It's just I haven't been paying attention to the calendar list for the events this last few months. So I just need to pay more attention to it. I need to make that group chat for the girls. I'm just I got a lot of shit that I gotta do
Yeah,
all the
you're
time. So I'm
busy.
busy. Oh yeah, I'm just
Add
behind
me
a lot
to
right
that.
now. Yeah. But yeah, for you, is there any questions that you had? Was there anything about the show, anything specifically, or any dating advice that you needed?
No, and I definitely took every little piece of advice that you gave me. I'm listening, and I will apply it, and I would love to come back. I really had fun.
No, I knew this was going to be a really good show whenever you were in here and you had said that you actually watched some of the shows, because most of the girls that come here don't watch the show.
Mhm.
Like, they come and they just like willy nilly. I could never do that. I could never just randomly show up somewhere and not
Somewhere
watch
and
what
don't
they're
know
doing.
what's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, like, they do that shit. So like, I really appreciate you for doing that. It shows that like that's a lot of respect that you're showing to me, like, right there off the start. So thank you so much.
No
And then
problem.
also, just to end it up really quick, what did you think of the show? And did anything resonate? And would you come back?
I just
Yeah, I
yeah
guess.
yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I asked that question, but in a different way than I normally ask it this time. But yeah.
Yes, I would come back.
Yeah, you're gonna come back again
Yes,
though.
I would come back.
Nah, ladies, I really can't say thank y'all enough. This was I like it when it's these two girl panels, because we get so much deeper, guys. Like, we get to kind of like peel some layers back. We get to talk about other personal life stuff, because sometimes I don't get into y'all about my own personal life. I don't get into
Yeah.
advice and other things like financial or anything like that, but or like like the privilege thing. Like, the reason why I can have such a talk with you about the privilege thing is because I came from Red Oak, which is mostly white town. Okay, I have a ton of friends that are living in that privileged life, tons of them. Okay, and then I have sisters like that are like in that privileged life. I have family members in that privileged life, because I come from a wealthy Hispanic family. So like, I see privilege a lot, and it's the thing I hate the most. Like, other than like the sex war, like the men and women shit, I would say the thing I hate the most is privilege, because privilege is like the biggest thing that ruins everything. If we didn't have so much privilege today, then we would work harder to have so many things. Like one of the things they always say is, strong men make or weak men make hard times make strong men make good times make weak men, and it's a cycle. And and like that's the biggest thing. Like I hate privilege because we're building weak men. We're making a weak society because we're also privileged. Like there's so many people that are waiting for generational wealth and shit like that, and it's all fucked off. Like when we need to be like out there digging in the dirt and doing more than ever.
Adding to it,
Yes. And so like I'm really against privilege. That's why like I had to go in on that. It's like, don't take it personal. It's just because like it's a personal thing to me. And like I said, because I came from a family of privilege, I personally had to handle those like privileged thoughts a lot, like because I grew up with a lot, and like I've always wanted to be as good as my father.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's an amazing person to me, an amazing hustler. It's like you always want to be as good as that. And the greatest thing that he could have ever fucking did to me was kick me out at 18. It's the greatest fucking thing he ever did, because nothing inspired me more to want to beat him at the game than doing that. And I don't know, like you should definitely just like lay into your parents for now on when they're doing that shit. Just be like, you know what, y'all are right. I love y'all. I'm gonna go take care of my shit. I'm gonna pay my own insurance this month. I promise.
No,
they'll give you more.
Yeah,
they don't. I don't even know how to pay a bill, but that's what I'm saying. I think she did that too, to try to manipulate me in a way.
That's harsh.
Yeah,
That's a hard thing to kind of like dissect and be like, oh, fuck.
Like you didn't teach me really anything, really, like honestly. Sorry,
so
Mom.
well,
life is not fair though, and like especially like our parents, like you gotta understand, they're just adult children. Like they're really not that good at shit either. Like I'm never gonna sit there and look at my parents and expect them to be some like superheroes anymore. That's something that like you can have that mentality when you're young, but bro, like once you get older, you realize they're just like you. Like they're just figuring shit just like you out. Like it's really no different. Like and you trust me, you'll be fine. Like we are humans, we can figure shit out. Like you're very like yeah, you can pout, but you'll be fine. Trust me, girl. I like trust me. And I want you to know, you don't have no brothers. You don't. Yeah, I'm guessing you don't have a lot of men in your life or anything like that. Well, you have a brother now. I'm your new brother. If you ever need, to like hit me up on Instagram, like I will help you out in any of those type of things, like how to pay your bill. Yeah. It's not that hard. Don't go to these simps and be like, will you pay this bill? No. Just pay it yourself. Like, let's see how good
I have to Google how to endorse a check.
Oh, we don't write checks no more. You're good. We don't do checks no more. You're fine. I haven't wrote a check in years, so you're fine. No, I'm serious.
Applying for stuff.
I'm really proud of you though. I really can't wait for you to come back because I want to like see like something in the future maybe. Yeah, I would love to have you back too. Thank you so much. But chat, thank y'all for coming. I can't read. Was there any super chats, Donnie?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. We could not, like, the TV changed at some random point in the middle of this shit, and I cannot see it. So I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sure somebody was talking shit too. I'll go and look at the comments.
Yeah.
My favorite comment was I think King Leon or whatever. He said something about a hoe inflation. I thought that was good
today.
He was like talking about society. Like,
yeah.
There's a hoe inflation.
No, I
was
saw.
Like, that's good.
I glanced up there a little, and somebody said we need a 304 emoji.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Hey, no, I do need to make one for y'all, but no.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all. Chat, I'll watch y'all shit later on. But no, thank you, Donnie. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, ladies. This was a really beautiful, awesome panel. I will see y'all on, what is today, Monday? I'll see y'all on Wednesday, guys. I should have a pretty full panel. I messaged a lot of girls today, and a lot of them said they're coming Wednesday. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not too full. But yeah, I'll see y'all later, guys. Peace the fuck out. Have a good night. Like the video on y'all's way out.
What you doing, Terry?
Happy 4th of July, guys. Peace out.